And okay, I don't have to be in the witness protection program though. All right, let's see. Okay, I don't have to be. Is it working? Is it working?
Oh, it is. But you know what I just realized? Okay, we're good. I'm just going to change my camera.
Okay.
I just realized I'm not on the right camera.
Oh. I see you.
There it is.
All right, I don't know if that's working.
We've been sitting on here all the time, and I just realized I'm not on the right camera.
Well, I didn't know. Good morning, DJ Metaspin.
Hey, folks.
all my Twitch peoples, my tweeples. if that's an appropriate moniker.
Maybe.
Okay, I guess it would also help if I get my windows together. Are you changing the aspect? Did I do that?
I ain't changed nothing.
I did that. All right. I have my monitor on the other side, and I keep moving my mouse the other way. Anyway, none of that matters to you. Just know that I struggle. Okay, and I have got to figure out my good morning, Bev B.
Okay. Hey, folk. What it do?
What it do? What it do? What it do, baby?
Lord have mercy.
Okay.
Let me find the best view here.
No, it's so hard.
I know. Okay. All right. Let me get in the right thing. Okay, now I can see who's in here. Oh, Bev, I wanted to tell you, and I keep forgetting every time we do this. Thank you. My mom got both of her shots at the place that you recommended, that you sent me information for. She got both of them there, and she was so excited because they actually ended up fixing their relationship with the health department, where they came out to where she lived, and she was going to give, they're going to give the shots to all the residents. She said, but there were lines and people were all close together. And they started after she'd already gotten her first. And she was like, I'm so glad to be able to just walk in and do what she did. And that's because of you. So thank you.
Friendly, helping friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. I love the ticker. I love the ticker.
I should just leave it up. No one calls us by our names anyway, but I wish there was a way we could put the T and the K at the top and then let this just go the whole time.
Yes. Okay. And yeah, good morning, Matt. I forgot to say hey to you because I had to give Bev that shout out. Hey, Afro Jazzy.
Hey.
Okay, Meta is back there doing some old other stuff that I don't understand yet.
Yes. She's running the Twitch stream for us.
Right, which, like I said, I don't understand.
Ooh, yes, honey. Yes.
Mm.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't have to look like I'm right up in the camera.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, y'all? We just got done getting hyped, so.
Yes, we had to get our music on and try to get our minds right. It's one of those times where I don't know if any of y'all are still watching from the bed.
But jealous.
This is a morning where I would be in the bed. Could I be in the bed doing this show? What are you seeing?
Our names are still there and the ticker.
Oh. Producing. She over here producing.
Production.
Yes. Okay. So before we get started, your shirt. What you got on today?
Oh, just unapologetically dope. Wait.
That part with a period.
With a period. Full stop.
Right.
No apologizing for that.
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Good vibes only.
That's right.
That's what I'm on today. And what you might want to be on approaching me today, because
Yeah, I ain't got it for the foolishness.
I ain't got it for the foolishness today. So let's get this thing started, y'all.
Let's do it. Yes, power in black tea. Yeah, my shirt. Yes.
Yes, very good. So welcome to Twofer Tea, you cute little two-timers. Welcome to our show. If you don't know who we are, really?
Right.
Really? Google it, baby. No, actually, go to our website at twoferblog.com. Check out our blog. And we are Twoferblog on all the platforms. Check us out. We're two friends and writers with big opinions. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes they ain't. So we're going to get started with our show today to talk about all the things that are going on in the world, in politics, in pop culture. And we want to have a dialogue with you guys. I mean, technically like a quadrilogue, but I mean, we want to talk with y'all.
We're going to chat it up.
Yeah, so get into our comments, please. Say what you feel. Say what you want to talk about. Give us some emojis. Give us some interaction. We like you to be part of the conversation. That makes it more fun for all of us, right? Okay, so let's do it. I want to thank, before we get started, our partners. Really quickly, we'll tell you more about them at the end of the show and how you can even become a partner with us and what that means. But off top, we want to thank Creative Sippin', Curly and Spiritually Fit, Melanin Mindscape, Disrupting Balance, Spiked Sweet Tea Podcast, and welcome our newest partners, Gluten Free Black Girl and Clay Botanics. So again, we'll tell you more about them at the end of the broadcast. And let's do it. Let's get into it. Our A-Block, getting it done. Oh, first of all, the name of the show, this episode is Don't Think We Forgot.
Don't think we forgot. Don't think we forgot.
Like this.
Let you slide. No. Buffering never sleeps, and neither do we.
That's that part. So, Nikki, why don't you kick us off in our A-Block, getting it done?
Rest in peace to Beverly Cleary. Now, look, she's 104, right? So we're not like
we're not sad.
But if you came up in the 80s, you probably cut your reading eye teeth on some Beverly Cleary.
Absolutely did.
If you came up in the 70s, 60s, and 50s, you probably cut your eye teeth on some Beverly Cleary.
Yep.
I remember my third grade teacher read Socks to us. And, that was the cat that had like the white paws, and it was the couple and the cat. And then the mom got pregnant, and, Socks was feeling some kind of way, and, all of this.
Yes.
But also, I was a Henry Huggins fan. I was a Ramona Quimby.
I was about to say Ramona. Come on,
yes, Ramona and Beezus
went on forever. First of all,
yes. Oh yeah, my mom says I read her in elementary school too. Yeah, which is why I read her in elementary school.
Right.
When you got a reading, mama. But yeah, I saw that yesterday, and I was just like, oh, tear.
Yeah, she's a national treasure, that Beverly Cleary was. So we appreciate her works and how she contributed to our childhood.
Yeah, she was the starter pack before you went into Judy Blume.
Absolutely that. You nailed it.
She was like your first chapter book. I read that. Oh, I got it. I want a new Beverly Cleary book. And then somebody introduced you to Deanie, and it was a wrap.
Yep.
You were like, I don't do Beverly Cleary anymore.
Right. I'm grown up.
I'm a grown up now. I've read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Right. We must. Anyway.
We must increase.
If you didn't read that as a child, then you
missed out.
Yeah, you missed out. Talk to your mama. Talk to your mama.
You missed out. So R.I.P. Beverly Cleary.
Absolutely. I mean, all these streaming elements got me messed up. I almost started the broadcast with the F-bomb.
That's okay.
They got me messed up. I was like, what's happening? What's this? What's all this? This is good though.
Yeah.
I just it's got me a little distracted. Okay. So that's in sad news. But is it time for to celebrate? Can we celebrate this early? Can we go from a sad moment straight to a celebratory moment?
She would want us to.
She would want us to.
She would want us to celebrate this.
So, I want to speak to this, but considering you've lived in the area, not Boston proper, but you've lived in the area, and you can speak to the racial tension, you can speak to the climate in that area to elucidate why this next topic is so important.
So Marty Walsh was the mayor of Boston, and he was the mayor of Boston. I mean, it's not like I lived there for a decade, but for the 3 years or so that we lived there, he was the mayor, and he was very well liked. All about actual making moves toward progress. Right? Boston has a storied history, and it ain't all good where race relations are concerned. If you do a quick Google, they were not on the segregation train. They were not on the busing train. They were, impaling people with flagpoles and all sorts of shit back in the day. But those vestiges.
Make it clear what you mean back in the day, though.
Oh, like in the 70s.
See, we're not talking about
not in the black and white photo era.
Right. We're not talking about revolutionary war.
Yeah, no. In modern-ish times. Yeah. But Marty Walsh just got called up to be the labor secretary, I think, in the Biden administration. And so his number 2 is a Black woman. Ladies first, ladies first. And she is the mayor until November, where she plans to run. Good morning, Deb. She plans to run for mayor against some other women. Mm-hmm. Another Black woman, an Asian woman, so the women are taking over. But the cool thing is that she's the first woman and the first Black person to be mayor of Boston.
It's all historic shit.
In the year 2021 of our Lord. Mm-hmm. She's the first, and that's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Women are out here straight breaking records. Mm-hmm. We're out here. It's so funny that it's one of those bittersweet moments, just like all of them are when somebody's the first Black something, is that we haven't cycled through all this shit yet.
Right. Why are we still having firsts?
Why are we still having firsts? And so it's celebratory, but it's also like, damn, how long is it going to take before we're not still having firsts? Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Wait a minute. We're gonna keep. There you go. Woohoo! There you go. 55th mayor, first woman, first Black person out there with her coils, and I'm feeling
her coils. Hello.
Okay.
Because Ayanna Pressley is from the Boston area, and she really, when she came out that she was, had alopecia, mm-hmm. and took the wigs off.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, it was like that moment in How to Get Away with Murder where Viola wiped off, pulled off her wig, wiped off all the makeup. Like that moment where we're like, yes.
That part. Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm sure they didn't mean for that to happen when they made her city council president.
Yep. Oh, well.
I'm sure you're right.
Be here now.
Well, I'm sure they'll tighten up things later so it can't happen again, like it's happening in Georgia, which we'll talk about later. Yeah. But big up to you, Kim Janey.
That's right. High five.
Yeah. And while we're talking about breaking records, shall we talk about Queen Bee? Shall we talk about the Queen?
We shall.
The American Queen.
This one.
That one. So I don't even really watch award shows anymore these days because and because you can watch the highlights, everything that you cared about the next day on social media.
Which is what I did.
Yeah, exactly. But Beyonce was just out here. I mean, it's like, how are you passively winning a Grammy Award?
Passive. Mm-hmm.
It's passive. It's like a passive income of Grammys.
Did you watch when she broke the record? Oh, when she tied the record and she was standing up there and Trevor Noah broke in before she could get down the stairs and he was like, this just in, and she was looking like, what's about to happen?
Right.
I don't do surprises.
Right, exactly.
I don't do that.
Yeah, when she had tied for the most Grammys of period. Period. That's period. Among, but just period. There is no among. And then later that evening when she broke the record, and as she was accepting, also got to accept a Grammy on behalf of her daughter, Blue Ivy. Brown Skin Girl.
Blue won a Grammy.
Yes. Yeah. Right. For Brown Skin Girl.
Right.
And apparently several years ago when Jay-Z was accepting a Grammy, he said something to the effect of, "Hey, Blue, I'm bringing you home a new sippy cup."
Right.
And so
sippy cup.
You can see in that picture there when she got her own, as she's enjoying her juicy juice out of her own Grammy sippy cup. And I'm here for the flex.
Here for the
flex so hard. That picture in the upper right is, I'd read that several years ago, someone had purchased in an auction Biggie's crown that he wore in one of his last photo shoots. It may have been the last photo shoot.
For $600,000.
Yeah, that crown that he has right there for $600,000. And then days after the Grammys, we see Blue sipping her juicy juice out of her Grammy sippy cup. And what is upon her head?
Said crown.
Look.
It is a savage flex.
It's a savage flex. What is that? Ham. That song that The Throne made. I don't know. I can't remember which song it is, but it's some song where the lyric is ball so hard, motherfuckers want to find me.
Oh, that's
Which one was it?
That shit cray. That shit.
Oh yeah, is it Where's in Paradise?
Yes, in Paris.
In Paris. Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, that's what they're doing. They balling so hard that we just motherfuckers want to genuflect to you. That's what.
Correct.
Okay. Because that. I'm here for it. All the flexes. And did you see how ends in Paris? Mm-hmm. Did you see how
what up, Miss Tiff Star?
Hey, I didn't see you come in. Hey. Did you see how emotional Meg the Stallion?
So cute.
Yeah, first of all, she was just like, Beyonce is gonna stand next to me on this stage.
It's like speak.
Yeah. She is so
what would Beyonce do? So I'm like Beyonce and a little ratchet.
You know, like I always say, what would Beyonce do and make it a little ratchet? And I have a friend. She's been on the show, Brittany, who was like, she texted me that she was like, "Oh my God," she said, "That's what I say about you all the time." What would they do but make it ratchet?
Make it ratchet. There it is.
I love it.
That is great.
I know. So B is getting her her due.
Mm-hmm.
This, you like my segues? My segues are the shit.
Her due. Got it.
As B gets her due in the world of the musical academy.
Which let's just point out that she's the winningest, but she still hasn't won Artist of the Year or Album of the Year.
Which blows me away.
Because she keeps losing to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which, a lot of people talk about the Grammys being rigged.
Well, isn't everything?
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say. They're no more rigged than anything else. And if you want to be like the Grammys are rigged, go for it. But then you can't say the Grammys aren't rigged when the person who you wanted to win wins. It's one or the other.
Hello, GQP.
Yeah. Who are we talking about?
We're talking about Beyonce and the Grammys.
Yes.
We're just talking about the flex of Beyonce being the winningest, Blue winning her own, and wearing the $600,000 Biggie crown.
Yeah, all of that part. What she
said. I bet Blue can call people bitches. Yeah, like, bitch. Bring me my sippy cup. Make me ask you twice.
Yeah, I saw a comment of looking at that picture of Blue sipping out of her Grammy cup. Somebody said, "This picture just told me I'm not doing enough with my life."
I'm underachieving.
This picture just said to me, "You are underachieving."
I'm underachieving. Welcome, Mary Extra C.
Yes, welcome. Okay, so like I was trying to segue.
Oh, hey, Cameron. What's up, Carol?
So Beyonce is getting her due, and now apparently, the people of Evanston, Illinois, are going to be getting theirs too.
Hey, look at me!
Yeah,
on the path.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about. Well, first of all, let's talk about how the folks in Evanston, Illinois, are supposedly. I know I'm saying this wrong. Okay, you don't have to correct me. I know that.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
Also wrong. Mm-hmm.
Going to be getting reparations. Black folks in Evanston, Illinois, supposed to be getting reparations. There were 73,000 people in the town.
Something like that.
So while they've agreed that reparations are going to happen, how the reparations are going to be distributed and calculated is yet up for discussion.
Right. And what they're reparating.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
We're just making words up today. Today is National Make Up a Word Day. And I just made that up too.
And you just made up National Make Up a Day.
But right now what they're saying they're doing is they've earmarked $400,000 for housing grants. And they're going to make them
repairs and mortgage assistance. So it's not just down payment assistance.
But in $25,000 increments. So you do the math. It's not that many, but you also have to prove that somebody in your family was victim of redlining. Okay, so right. Do you need proof in this?
Right.
So I mean, a lot of people were like, that's not enough, or this is not what we're talking about. And it's like, okay, the whole reparations piece has to start somewhere. Exactly. And while I agree, $400,000, it doesn't even sound like a lot of money.
No, it does not.
That does not sound like a lot of money. However, I will give them credit for putting something on the books, because that's amazing. That's amazing that the conversation didn't stall flat with, I ain't never owned no slaves and you ain't never been a slave. So why are we talking about reparations? Because that's usually where it stalls. And it's like, we're not talking about any of that. Like that's not the point at all, but okay.
I would love to know how you feel about where they're pulling the funds from to pay for these reparations, which are right now, it's proposed, I didn't mean to giggle. It's proposed to come from private donations and taxes on weed sales, which are legal.
That had me hollering. I was like, well, here's the thing. And we said this a decade ago. Mm-hmm. Weed becomes legal when the government can figure out how to tax it.
Absolutely.
And like the lottery, mm-hmm. right, which is always supposed to be funding some educational initiative, which clearly it doesn't. Mm-hmm. And like toll bridges and things like that are supposed to pay for repairs that either have happened and you're still paying a toll or whatever. So anyway, that's a mess. And
it is.
They're not going to use that money from weed sales to do this. There's plenty of it. They could fund much more than $400,000 through
they could
illegal weed sales. Let's keep it a buck. But that's interesting, trying to make it seem like, we're not going to overtax white people to pay for these reparations, because we know that will spell our demise.
Yeah.
And if it looks like we can tax something that's already controversial to do something that's even more controversial, it's like, it didn't work out. People are not really smoking weed anymore. So sorry. We tried it though. We tried it. We tried to get y'all your money, but y'all stopped smoking weed.
Right. That would make me giggle, because I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Because you can see what somebody is going to have to say. Oh, it's going to pay for reparations. They the ones out there smoking it. But,
Yeah, you're finding your own. How about you save the money that you would be spending on weed and get you a house? Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, but interesting that they're the first place. And Chicago was notorious for the redlining and the, Black folks moving up out of the South during the Great Migration, only to find out that it's just a different kind of.
Right. Okay. Have you read the book, The Devil You Know?
I have not.
Okay.
Who's the author?
Oh gosh. Now let me pull it up, because I just read it. And of course I forgot his name, but it's about the Great Migration, and it really, Charles M. Blow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's on my list.
Yeah, read it. It is about the Great Migration, and it's basically a handbook for when folks come to you talking that shit about the South is so slow. The South is so. It's the handbook that gives you the tools you need to come back to them with some real history.
Right, and the first thing is, everybody who lives north of the Mason-Dixon line needs a copy. Because
exactly,
everybody who isn't from the South believes that racism is a burning cross and a white hood.
Yes.
And the N-word. And that if you don't meet those three criteria, there's no way that anything that you're doing or putting forth is racist or suppressive or supremacist or any of that. Same thing with Kelly.
Well, the book is basically, if I were to distill it to one sentence, it's this. You think that racism doesn't exist in the North, but it does, comma, and down here, at least you get a yard.
Hello. Hello.
So yeah, I was like, okay.
When I was teaching in Cambridge, people would be like, I want to apply to like Vanderbilt or Emory or, but I'm concerned about the South. And I was like, why? First of all, you're white. So what are you concerned about? But second of all, because these would be my students, bless their hearts. And I would literally say to them, but you're white. I don't understand what your concern is. And they're like, well, I mean, like, Confederate flags and, all this. I said, have you never seen a Confederate flag up close in person?
Right.
In the yard of someone that you play with outside? Like, yes, Cameron, they were the most racist up north. But I was like, that's not anything to be afraid of. As a matter of fact, maybe y'all should have more of them up here so we know where not to be.
Thank you.
I was like, I know what's up in the South. I know when I stop at a random gas station and you're selling them, get your gas and get the hell on. Here, y'all be out here smiling and skinning and grinning and, and then don't want to touch you when you drop change in my hand. Like,
right. Okay. Listen, I've said this, I think it was at a book club meeting, but we were looking for houses recently. And we went out to this neighbor who we thought, oh my gosh.
You said it on here too.
I did. The Trump flag and the hanging it. Yeah, so that's the thing here. Here we know who they are. We can see you. You're overt. You're not trying to pretend to be something you're not. And I can absolutely appreciate that. Like Cam said, the lines are clear, and I can absolutely appreciate that. So you can fool yourself into thinking that the same thing doesn't exist up there, but no, player.
It's just different. is just different, but the indoctrination is the same. Thanks for playing.
It is.
Thanks for playing.
Do you think that there will ever be, and I'm asking you guys in the comments too, do you think that there will ever be whole-scale reparations legislation in the country?
No, and in fact, I was having this conversation with Cameron the other day about
plug in.
Okay, about we can't have reparations until we have reconciliation.
Woo, you better preach your word.
And we can't have reconciliation until everybody agrees that a thing is a thing.
Right.
And while
call a thing, beloved.
Call a thing a thing. And while no one, as my son pointed out to me the other day, no one is denying that slavery happened, but the narrative around it is very, 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 very fucking different. And until we can reconcile like this, yes, it happened, it was nasty, and here are the things that came out of it. Not yes, it happened, and it was like forget about it and don't worry about it because that's not still happening, and none of you were slaves and none of us were slaveholders, and like all of that is counterproductive and reductive. And
and I think that that's the thing that there are some people who can't grasp the concept of systemic racism. That this is stuff that is baked into the way we do things in this country. But also, so there's no way, if they can't grasp that, they can't be objective enough to see the disparities, the racial disparities in everything from housing to, banking in general to, all of that. If they can't see that, then there's no way they can see that it's also baked into our real physical DNA. The way that we react and respond and live our lives, a lot of that, the fear and the understanding of who we are is warped and baked into who we are, so that our children, sometimes maybe because of how we raise and nurture them, sometimes I would posit just because of being born Black, it's from descendants of slaves, it's in there.
Yeah,
it's in there.
It's epigenetics.
And absolutely. And there's no way that they're ever going to be able to grasp that concept.
Right.
If we can't even grasp that, redlining exists. And
Well, and come back anytime.
Anytime, yeah.
We're glad you came by.
Absolutely.
It's also, a recognition of privilege. And that's something that sadly has to be taught and explicitly state, like we all have it in some areas, That's what
I'm saying. That's why it's so difficult for me to understand the issue with recognizing privilege, because I recognize my privilege in the areas where I have it, and it's not difficult for me to do. I mean, I'm no different in my ability to objectively see that I benefit by certain privileges. Why is it so hard? Why is it painful?
I don't know. And I think, I don't know how to articulate it, but I feel like some of it is because we weren't born with all of the privileges. It's easier for some of us, because all of us ain't able. And I mean, all of us ain't able, but to recognize where there's privilege, like, growing up in a 2-parent household was privilege.
Absolutely.
Growing up in a house was privilege.
Yes, it was.
Growing up in the suburbs was privilege. Going to a high school that was, well funded, and that was privilege. That
having a car to drive when you turn 16, having a choice of which colleges to go to,
privilege. And to turn around, and I mean, it's tempting. And I think what happens is, someone tweeted this the other day, let's normalize changing your opinion when you have more information.
Oh,
so it's so easy. I think it was LZ Granderson, who I love. Yes. But it's easy to play the, kind of identity politics, or the, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, like I did. Before you realize, actually you did it. Actually, you had boots.
Right.
So, but as you get older, there's things that you say when you're 16 that you shouldn't still be saying when you're, not 16.
Yeah. It's
We
kind of like what Trevor Noah talks about, the whole teach a man to fish thing. He's like, but nobody ever says, where did you get a pole? I mean, it gives you the bait. So, yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
That part. So, all of that is part and parcel to, the whole piece about reconciliation and understand. Just stop talking for a second and understand that this house that's been in your family since, the antebellum era is a leg up. In our conversation the other day, our famous roundtables, I was saying, not only have our shoestrings been tied together at the starting blocks, but at some places we were in a different stadium. The race was being run somewhere else.
Absolutely.
We in starting blocks. So
that's not even metaphorical. Like,
yeah, that's legit.
Literal.
That is legit. So,
yes, Deb, just like white supremacy is baked into their DNA. And you can reject those things. But it requires acknowledging that they exist and then working through that. And
you have to see it. You have to see it, and you have to be willing to accept that you can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
You've seen it. You can't unsee it.
Absolutely.
So, anyway.
That was the tangent like a motherfucker. But
it was necessary. It was necessary.
It was. So let's talk a little bit about our girl, Issa Rae. Every time I think of growth. Why's your growth going down?
Oh, I just pulled it down. Oh yeah, growth.
Issa Rae is that. First of all, I could not be more happy for every time Issa Rae wins.
Yes,
because she is all of us, right?
She is.
She is. What'd you say?
I said, keep talking.
Okay, yeah. Issa Rae is all of us in that she says the shit we're thinking. She does. She writes the shit we're thinking.
She does. She said, "I'm rooting for everybody black."
Everybody black.
I stan.
Look. Everybody stands. Everybody black stands. Like
stan.
Like she had the ball. She has zero fucks, and she's just out here like yes. So Issa just inked. I think it's a 5-year, 8-figure deal with Warner Media, which includes HBO Max, and some other lesser.
Yeah, all the things.
Yeah, all the things.
To get my lighting together. Keep talking.
Yeah, this is as Insecure comes to a close. And Issa's already on to the next thing. This is random as fuck. What I was gonna say, she was posting something on her social media the other day where she was just sad.
Oh.
And it was just her. It was live. It wasn't a picture. It was a video. And she was just basically, her caption was saying, "I've just been in a place all day." And that was pretty much the whole post. And I thought, you just inked an 8-figure deal.
Right.
You're a show to a close that has fans, tearing up that we're about to lose these characters.
Right.
And you're real. You're still, some days are just bullshit.
Yeah.
And she's out here showing us her whole real self all the time. And I love it. And I love her for it. I congratulate her. And you know what she's going to do because we know Issa. She's going to open up doors. And she's going to hire the most blackety black cast and crew.
I hope he keeps Yvonne Orgy around.
Yes. I mean, everything she does is gonna be so fucking black, and I'm here for it. I absolutely adore
it. And she is engaged.
Mm-hmm.
That was the quiet flex. She just showing up in photos, and like this. Can y'all see my screen? Can y'all see these pictures?
Yes.
Okay, cool. This one where she's got her, just got her hand up. Like the story's not even about the ring. It's about the bag. But that's her boo.
Yes.
I forgot what his name is already. My bad.
Yeah, because I was like one day just looking at pictures and I think, did I text you?
You did. You were like, "Is Issa engaged?"
Yeah.
I was like, apparently.
Like it's my sister. How she tell us?
Right. Why you ain't tell me, girl? We just had you a little party. A little party.
But yes, he's out here with getting it done.
Getting it done. Securing said bag.
Yes, securing several bags because you can't carry all that in one bag.
Securing all the bags.
8-figure deal. Not
a big bag.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. That part.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about Janelle Monáe.
We just had to talk about Janelle Monáe did Ralph Lauren did like an immersive fashion show to introduce his she mentioned it on the Breakfast Club that she was engaged. Because I don't really.
Me either, but
good to know. Good to know.
Yes.
Late to the party. Okay. I mean, that's cool. Thanks for that, Miss Tipstar. Anyway, Janelle Monáe partnered up with Ralph Lauren, and he's introducing his spring line, and she did this like a big band kind of thing, and she had like old Hollywood glamour, and she sang and she talked about, and it was like Thursday, I think, Wednesday or Thursday night. It was this week. But anyway, you have to Google her pictures because they are just amazing. I mean, already she's gorge.
She's gorgeous and talented and fearless. And I love her. And her music is so good and quirky and
all of that.
Yeah.
It was a whole vibe.
Yes.
And I didn't see it actually. One of my sisters kind of, hit me to this. I was like, ooh, because I was actually looking for good stuff to talk about in the A block because the world is just such shit right now that the A block was like this little. And I was like, y'all like good that
shit is happening. But we always have all the shit for the B block for the they.
Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
Itself. But yeah, check her out. Go look it up. Just Google her and Ralph Lauren. I mean, there's like black and white photos that really speak to the era. And then there's, color photos. And she's got like this bomb haircut. And I'm like, oh, see, you're gonna make me straighten this. And then, do my little swoop and my little pixie. You're gonna make me do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a wig, but
well, even so, I mean,
So you can do that. That's my point. Go and do that. Get you a hair hat.
I've never worn a wig.
I did once, but it was in 4th grade, and that's because I had burned my hair out.
Oops.
Don't play with lighters, kids.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I feel like they'll be hot, and I feel like I'll be self-conscious and I'll be doing the things, signaling to everyone that it's a wig, but also not respecting the fact that, yes, everyone knows it's a wig and everybody's good with it.
Exactly. I would be doing the thing where I look in the mirror every few minutes like, is this shit like...
Is it straight?
Is it? Yeah,
and then also, I'm like, it feels like wigs are work. Like, I want the one that I can just slip on my head. Like, I don't want to have to get a stocking and slick my hair down and, do the thing with the lace front and play those. I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah. So, like you said, I feel like it would be hot. There are days when I get in my car on the way home and I take off all my earrings. I take off all my jewelry because I just need to not have anything.
Free.
You can't do that with a wig.
Listen, when I lived in the South, I would get in the car after traversing to the parking deck where my car was, and I would take my bra off.
Yes.
Like, I would slip out of all of it so I could just...
Absolutely. Absolutely. And first of all, if you're a woman of a certain age,
correct,
you don't know how to take your bra off like that, then what are you even doing? Hey, sister. My sister is on here. Wigs are the bomb. And you have such cute wigs. And that's what I'm just like, and I see people all the time. Colby wants a wig and she thinks she can do it. And she probably can't. Me, I'm going to sweat.
Yes.
I'm going to sweat.
Yes. And I just feel like mine would always be slipping. It would be like a bad slip. It would always be hanging. It always like, you need to fix it.
You're right. Somebody would always be like, hey, fix,
your shit is
askew.
Hey, sis.
Yeah, so yeah, clearly we don't know. We ain't ready, but
We're not ready.
we're not ready. Maybe one day. Maybe
No,
one day.
no.
Jazzy, you want a few wigs? When you but spend some money on them.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what
and it's like a wig. A good wig is like a good weave. Like you got
yes,
to know your weaver. You got to know your wig
you gotta know your wig maker or distributor.
distributor.
I need you not be out here if you look like me buying a Dolly Parton wig. That's just not the move. Yeah, spend your money on that wig. Get you some good hair.
Yeah, don't get a corn silk.
No.
Like we don't have to do that anymore. They actually make wigs for us.
Yeah, don't be out here looking like Malika and Khadijah Hodge. Because sometimes I'd be like, twins, come on now, y'all got money.
Who?
Malika and Khadijah Hodge.
I always think about them from ATL talking about rudeness.
Oh yes, invest in a wig. That part. Yes. Okay. So tangential. Okay. Anyway, y'all, my favorite Twitter person quit Twitter. Oh no! And I'm like, listen, you know, you're on Twitter a lot more than I am, Mickey. You're on Twitter. Yes. I'm on Twitter when you send me something to look at.
I fucks with Twitter.
I know. I am on Twitter then, or when I have to post something for work. It's just not my platform, nothing against it. But I would always go to Twitter to see what Chrissy Teigen posts. Because Chrissy Teigen is she's a Twitter delight.
Yes.
But she said she just gets tired of people telling her all day, you know, you ain't shit. She said, it's not the platform. The platform is fine. It's not even the bullying. She said, but after a while, reading this shit every day starts to affect you.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically. And she's just like, you know what? I've just decided I ain't got to do that. She said Twitter really was reaching out to her too. They were like, please, what can we do? And she was like,
nothing.
I love y'all. It's not you. It's me. I think I just need some time to myself, maybe space.
And I feel like she'll be back. I mean, hey, Twitter notifies you. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I think people like I don't interact at the level of Chrissy Teigen. Right. And people of her ilk. Like Natasha Rothwell is another person that I could easily see being like, fuck this app. Right. But
I follow her on Instagram, so I still get it.
I follow her. Right. I mean, and I followed them in both places. But you know, I guess Chrissy's been around from practically the beginning. Like I've had a Twitter account since Twitter was a thing. Mm-hmm. And but I've always been kind of like I can quit, and I do. Like sometimes, and it's not just Twitter, it's social media in general. Like when I get to be I'm not getting enough likes, I'm like, okay, check yourself, because that is not what we're doing. That's not what we do, Right. But I think for Chrissy, I think a lot of it started when she miscarried.
It absolutely did.
And she tweeted about it and put it on Instagram, and
I read some of the comments, some of the things people said.
Terrible.
He was better off dead than being with her and John. And
terrible. And I don't even know how she came back after that. And I'm a person that's like, all right, some things I'm not going to put on social media, right? I saw what's the young lady who died recently, the young girl who was battling cancer.
Weird.
And her mom or somebody was like, she was gone. And there's a picture of, I think, her mom like kissing her. And see that one. And that's the face right there. Because I was like, I actually didn't need that in my timeline. Like it's almost like posting pictures of people in caskets. It's like I would have gone to the funeral if that's what I, So, but I have limits to what I'll post, right? And I think that really affected her, because I know she thought, I'm going to put this out here because there's so many people that go through things like this. And, I'm a whole person.
Enough.
Right. I'm going through this. And, so I was just like, wow, that's really sad. And, I read her posts and things like that. Mm-hmm. And then I just moved on. But yes, people are trash.
People are hot.
They pain for her. Mm-hmm. And, I think maybe for the first time she realized, I don't know, I don't know what the calculus was, but I don't blame her for being like, I'm not fucking with this bird anymore.
Y'all don't deserve me. That ain't what she said, but we don't deserve her.
Right. She's like, it's nothing positive on here for me anymore. Right. So, Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I saw Debs that people were acting like she was dead. Yeah. She's one of the best things that happened to Twitter in a long time. So
now I think Twitter needs to not overreact, because yes, they call her the mayor of Twitter, but there are, in my timeline, Chrissy's not even like the person that she's not my go-to person. I have so many more people, and Dionne Warwick is here to take Chrissy Teigen's spot.
She is. Dionne Warwick is out here clowning. I don't know who runs Dionne Warwick's account.
Dionne Warwick said, bitch, I run my account. My niece showed me how to do it, but she has said multiple times, it's me.
I absolutely believe she is sitting there telling her niece, type this shit in. Dionne does not have her fingers on this little ass keyboard. Come on now.
Dionne's on her computer. She's on her 54-inch monitor computer.
But I absolutely believe that she is telling somebody, no, that ain't what I said.
Yeah. She has a sense of humor that is unparalleled. I mean, the shit that people say to her, and like when she first got on the app and she was clowning people's names,
yes.
She was asking questions. Like she asked Quavo and what's the one with Cardi B?
Offset.
What exactly is an offset? What exactly is it? I mean, she kills me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's absolutely here to pick up the slack.
She is. There's plenty of people gonna hold down the Chrissy Teigen spot, and life will go on, and Chrissy will take a hiatus. She will unretire from Twitter, much the same way some of these football players unretire after they get their bodies together and they're like, okay, I'm ready to play again.
And then, but I believe that once she revisits Twitter after having this break, it's going to be a much shorter time before she leaves again.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh.
I think she like modify how she relates. Yeah. That's my thing. Like I don't get into. There was a time when I was interactive on Facebook. I will argue with you. I will invite you to my page to argue. On Twitter, same thing. And now I am furiously type a response and then be like, I'm not sending that shit.
Right.
I don't want a relationship with you. I don't want a relationship with you.
Yeah, exactly. There was, when we talk a little bit later about another hot topic, I started to respond to some clowns on Facebook. And then I was like, I literally deleted my response. It was like, I forgot I'm not responding to clowns on Facebook.
Right.
I'm not engaging. So we good. Never mind. You don't deserve me. So
or my energy.
Or my
time. I don't argue with fools. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. Everything I'm gonna say you can look up somewhere. So yeah.
That part. So congratulations, Chrissy. I hope you find something worthwhile to fill your time with. Because I swear to God, she was always on.
But you know what? She's always doing a lot of things. I think she's one of those people who thrives in a little bit of chaos, who thrives with a lot going on. She's always putting out these damn cookbooks, which are great. And her new lines of various cookware and doing all the things they do. So she's got plenty to do. And I think she'll find a way to refocus that energy.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, I know. We were talking a few minutes ago about firsts. This one kind of blows me away. And I know it shouldn't because, I know all about the histories of HBCUs and how we ain't starting them motherfuckers. But that part, I know, but.
And wasn't hardly running them.
So this is a thing I know, and I shouldn't be blown away by this, but the fact that the United Negro College Fund is just now naming its first Black president.
So wait, board chair. Board chair.
Board chair.
I mistyped. It should be board chair.
Yes. United Negro, and board chair is more important anyway, but the United Negro College Fund, first Black chairman of the board, first in 2021.
In 75 years of existence.
Does that not trip y'all up too? I mean, does that not trip you out? Because to me, that's just wow.
It is such a vestige of paternalism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you think about all of these, you know, I was watching that documentary last night, you know, the one of which I speak.
Yes, I did.
They were talking about the president of Howard being a white man who was dictating who could have social clubs on campus at a Black school.
Yeah.
At a school where you had relegated Black people. This is where you can come and learn. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
Like you have decided, someone's along the way decided y'all can't manage money. Now, come on, let's be real. And so now we have in the year 2021 of our Lord.
Yeah.
First Black.
Way, exactly. I know.
That shit's crazy. Because then Milton Jones, and he's been on the board as a finance person.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go to any HBCU board, it's probably more white people than Black people. Pick one.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we are getting to a point where we're trying to migrate away from that ratio.
Facts.
But again, it's how many years later? It's 100 years later. It's, you know, yeah. The old President Howard, there you go, said, get a strong
idea of who Black people should be.
Ooh, girl.
That's a whole other.
Yeah. But that's a good transition from our getting it done, because yes, okay, great. Finally, it's another one of those things where we're celebrating a first, but then we're lamenting that we're still having a first, especially in an organization like this. So they tried it. Is our next block, and it kind of goes from there. We're celebrating it, but they tried it, telling us that they had a strong idea of who Black people should be. Let's get into this next block where we're gonna flip off our positivity. I'm gonna turn off my good vibes, and we're gonna talk about all the folks who have tried it. If you don't have your popcorn, now is the opportunity to go get your popcorn.
Yeah, take 30 seconds. Find your ugly words.
Because we got some work to do in dragging these folks who have tried it.
Remember last time when we met, we talked about Papa John's dude and his days since he said the N-word?
Yes. How many days is it for you, babe?
0.
0 days.
0 days. 0 days. Oh, the people in this block.
Yes. Rake them across the coast. All right, y'all ready? We're gonna start with a really fun one. Melodies from heaven rain down on me. When I tell you, Black folks are never going to cancel Kirk Franklin.
No,
never. It ain't happening.
Listen,
it ain't gonna happen.
When I saw that Kirk Franklin was trending, I was like, oh shit. What has happened, right?
It was a sex scandal.
I thought, you know, maybe he fell into another orchestra pit. Like I did not know what to think. And then before I could find out, I started seeing things like, if you ain't never cussed at your children, if you ain't never such as, and I'm like, what? wait, what are we talking about? So Tiff, I'm glad you asked. What So Kirk Franklin has 4 children. His oldest is by an ex-girlfriend or ex-wife, or I don't know what the situation is. Anyway, he's in his 30s, and I want you to keep that in mind.
His son is 33.
Son who is 33.
I love that Jazzy is out here giving us all the parts. Down on me. Yes, I'm like, la, 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 la. I'm with you.
So the oldest son and Kirk have issues, clearly.
And
have had them. Mm-hmm. But recently, said 33-year-old son and Kirk Franklin got into it on a phone call. And oldest son recorded it. His name is Carry On or something, I think. Carry On.
Sounds about right. Go ahead.
He recorded the conversation and then released it on social medias. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't know that it was, a man of the cloth, a man of the Lord, whatever he purports to be other than just a gospel singer, you would not have known based on the things that he was saying to the fruit of his loins. Mm-hmm. Things like, I'll whip your skinny ass. He was breaking him down for being broke. He, called him the N-word a couple times, let loose some F-bombs. Mm-hmm. I mean, he pretty much was like, fuck you, N-word, get off my motherfucking phone.
He said, I will stomp your pussy ass or something like that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, he called him a bitch ass. Mm-hmm. And was basically like, if you darken my doorway, it's on sight. Mm-hmm. And then he hung up. Mm-hmm.
Now, that's the portion of the argument that we heard.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So, folks, okay, so first of all, this does not surprise me at all. I am surprised by the people who think that because somebody is a gospel singer, you're not still a parent and you're not still a Black parent. I'm surprised by those people who are surprised by this.
First of all, they clearly were never in a gospel choir.
Clearly. With cussed out in the choir stand.
and be told that God is everywhere. I will never forget Jay saying that shit.
Yes.
Like, God is everywhere. I don't have to stop cussing now.
Right. Like, that part.
Noted.
So get your mind right, because I absolutely am. I ain't no, gospel singer, but I have cussed my kids out many a time. And guess what? They good. They're good. They're right. They're right. And they go right. Okay. Sometimes you need a little cussing. Now seriously though, there are a lot of people who are saying that, we normalize you talking to your kid, calling your kids out their names. We normalize talking to your kids aggressively, and then we wonder why. Hello, we wonder why young men have difficulty emoting and so forth and so on. And to that, I say, that's my full answer.
So first of all, we're not talking about talking to your 7-year-old.
Thank you.
Right. And most people, I think, across this broad spectrum will tell you, there's a point, especially between males, when you got to go.
You do.
Like, when you get to the place where you and I are talking to each other this way, somebody's got to go, and it's my house, so it's you.
Absolutely.
Right?
That part.
And so when, at the point in time that you're like, I'm a man, or for feet, I'm a woman, and it's like when diplomacy is gone, right? Yeah. I mean, most of us are not talking about calling our 7-year-old sons bitch ass.
No, come
right?
on.
That's not what we're talking about. Carry On's 33.
Right.
And I'm not making an excuse for, any sort of abusive behavior or any sort of, there's people who are like, I don't talk to my kids that way. There's people who are like, I don't spank my kids. There's people that's all great. That's all cool. I'm not here to make a value judgment, just as you should not be making a value judgment in this situation. We don't know the full story. We don't know what their relationship has been like, except that Kirk Franklin told us, which I'm going to get to that in a second.
Right, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
And all of this weighing in on, a man of the clock. Okay, man first.
Man first.
A human, right? And people lose their shit. They say things to their 7-year-old. They lose their shit, right? And yeah, he's grown. He can get this smoke.
Cam, we right here.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
So you know. Okay. So when you're 33, this shit don't happen.
Right. I don't know if my husband is on the broadcast right now, if he's listening in, but I'm gonna tell y'all a story. One time, my oldest son was probably about 15. And we are at home and we're all in the room and I didn't even see what transpired. It was like a secret behind the scenes man kind of flow of testosterone, osmosis. I don't know what it was. But my husband took his 2 flat palms and pushed my son across the room. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? What's going on? He was like, he looked at me like he was a man. I was like, what?
It's like, animal kingdom. It's animal kingdom. You gotta lead a pride. Like when you think you eat first, when you think you can pop off. I mean,
right.
I was talking to my sisters about this the other day. One time, I don't know if it was Cameron or if it was Kenny, but somebody didn't move fast enough when I said something or looked at me like they had a question. And the next thing I knew, they were what did she tell you? You know what I'm saying? What did she just say? What's taking you so long?
Right.
And so it's just one of those, again, no one was going to die. I wasn't going to let that happen. Right.
No.
And did I think it might've been a bit of an overreaction? Yes. But see,
everything you just said. Yeah.
Yeah, that. But see, again, it's mothers and daughters too. Yeah. I don't have a daughter, so I can't, but I was that daughter. But I was that daughter, right? I was that one that had a little bit of sass that, it was you, Cameron. But
me and my daughter had that, and I'll save that for another time and let Kobe tell that story.
Sure. But I mean, it's one of those things. It's like it's instinctual, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't have a contentious relationship with my mother. I did not have a contentious relationship with my mother, but when you push in the limits, you gotta
set boundaries. Now I will say this too. Back to what you were saying about Kirk telling us what happened. He said that they have had a contentious relationship for a decade.
He said they've had a toxic relationship.
Toxic, yes. Very toxic relationship for years. Fine. Fine will get you fucked up. Fine will get you fucked up. Fine. Caleb's was okay. He would just be like, okay. And I'd be like, say okay one more time. One more again. But yeah, they had a toxic relationship for decades. He said, the part of the call that he didn't play was where I called the therapist and was like, you got to help us. This shit is fucked up. You got to help us. But why would the son play that part? Because it didn't help his narrative. Also, you're 33 and you're upset because you feel entitled to some of your father's money. You want your father to, support you. You 33, Negro, 33 up here.
0 days since I've said the N-word.
Right. And then Kirk's daughter, did you see how she the true ungodly, right? Well, Kirk's daughter weighed in and she was just like, stop playing, bro. You don't talk to any of us. I mean, she weighed in again and again and again.
Yes.
She probably should have let it go, but she was just like, what you're not gonna do is act like this is something it's not. Right. We know who you are and we know who you aren't. And this false narrative ain't gonna work. And when I tell you the whole of the Black community was like, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Rain down.
Yeah, she said you trying to show out for company.
Right.
And then he called him a molester.
Yeah. Get out of here. I didn't see that. Get out of here.
But then he said, don't crucify my father.
Yeah, right. Yeah, then you don't crucify your father. How about that?
How about we stop airing out family business in public spaces?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Period. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. And when I saw Kirk get on there, I was like, you can say that apology. I don't need that apology.
That's what I said. And also, you know, the apology did come off very much like I'm apologizing to y'all,
yes,
for having to see. And it's just kind of like, okay, don't just be like, look, it's a family issue, and I would appreciate some privacy, like, because you know I'm not on team carry on, but I would also be pissed at, you know, I want to apologize to the fans, like.
Well, I think that was very deliberate. I think he
I'm sure it was.
Thought about those words. He was like,
petty. Yeah. It was petty.
It was all the petty.
All the petty. And he was like, yeah, you got me out here bad, but let me watch greatness work.
Right.
Watch greatness work. Watch how they come for me.
Right. Because I need you standing behind you. Who on your team? Because
where they at though? Where they at though?
Like, all this behind me. Yeah.
Child. Oof. What a hot mess. I was like, my people.
I know. Okay, so I'm gonna let you introduce this one. Just everybody's talking about this, so now's the time to put a little extra salt on your popcorn.
Yeah, let me just go on, and I know we talked about Issa already. Let me. Oh, he's our fuckboy of the week.
Week, maybe month,
maybe the year. Like he might be so far of the first quarter. I don't know if y'all know who Derek Jackson is. Derek, I did not know who he was.
Really?
I had to look him up. He professes to be a self-love kind of guru. At first blush of some of his books, I was like, I wouldn't have read these books.
No, never in a million years. And I've seen his videos because I don't follow him and I've never followed him, but his videos have rolled up in various feeds. So I have seen videos before, and not even really a self-love, but more of his whole deal is castigating men for perpetuating, you know, the stereotypes about that men don't believe in monogamy, men can't be monogamous, men can't. His whole thing, his whole platform is built on condescension.
Yes.
And that's why I was always like, I mean, you can't give me no advice.
Yeah. And he's another reason why I'm 0 days since the N-word, because the more I delved into him, the more I was like, this N-word. Yes. He wins that award.
He wins that award. He was okay. So the first video,
I got the hyperlinks.
Yes. Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah. Well, we can only see the fuckboy of the week slide.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let me put this over on the other screen so y'all can see. What do you see now?
We see Janelle Monáe. All right, now we see him. Make it a little bit bigger.
Can you hear?
Yeah, it's real low.
All right.
But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derek Jackson was involved with other women outside the marriage.
Okay, I'm gonna just tell you what he's saying because it's 7 minutes.
Maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about.
Pause. Okay. The point of this was to say that he cheated on his woman and he filmed a video.
Oh, wait, before you get to the second video. The point of this video was to say, I did cheat on my wife last year. She knows all about it. We've worked all through it. We
look at her face.
Right. Now they did another live video after this, just the two of them, where she was saying basically they had worked all through it. She left. She said, I think she said on this one, she left and was gone for a long time until they got to a point where she felt like he was making moves toward being, you know, she didn't say these words, but a better husband. She came back and they were working through it, you know, with God as the basis of their relationship. So basically she was saying, we're done. We've worked through this. And now, because y'all are finding out about it, I'm having to relive this shit all over again.
Okay. So, number one, we just found out because your fuckboy husband is out here comparing himself to somebody else. Right.
Exactly.
So he's the one that's making you relive this L.
Exactly. Not
us. Look at the body language. Look at her. She has a fucking bonnet on.
Okay, now let me stop. She does not have a bonnet on.
What is she having?
People keep calling it a bonnet, and I have to say, I have issues with this for several reasons. One, she can come out there in her house coat.
She can,
but she has. I have a hat like it. It's one of those knit caps, like almost crocheted.
Oh, okay. That's
what that is.
So, but my point wasn't to denigrate her. My point was to say she was minding her business somewhere.
Yes, she was.
He was like, I'm going to film this video. Come sit with me.
Yes.
And he looks like he's prepared to be on camera. She looks like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's got the death grip on her hand. And she's looking like, oh, shit, you could have told me that this is what it was about to be. Yeah. Right. She's got the this N-word look on her face. Like, oh, okay. And now I'm trapped. Like, I can't get up and be like, you know, because this is not going to look good for me no matter what. No matter what, they're going to talk more about my demeanor than they're going to talk about his.
And I think that's what I get. That's what I get from her body language more than anything is the I know everybody's about to be looking at me.
Yes.
Not even so much the whole people are looking at her, you know, people are saying that she's giving the whole, you know, side eye to him. But I don't get that from listening to that video. And the next one, I think she truly believes what she said when she went through the whole, this is my breastplate of righteousness. Did you watch that one? It was the one that was just her by herself.
Oh no, I did not.
She was like, so especially from watching that one and hearing how she talks. I mean, she was super, super, super religious in it. And she was talking about, you know, that the devil comes against us and you're just trying to be, and I have on my breastplate of righteousness and my shield, and you see a bonnet and I see the helmet, and it was that whole thing. So I think that she was more concerned that people were focusing on her, which they were, but you know what you got. You didn't have to sit in that video next to him, which they say in another video that it was her idea to make this video. I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
And if that's even true. And if it is true, I don't know what she thought it was going to be.
Right. If it's true, then don't be mad at the responses that you got. If that's true, then you know, then keep it pushing, because
that part. But so there was this video where he had to address it because nobody ever just comes out and just says, you know what, I did something in the dark, I'm going to bring it to the light. You're addressing it because somebody else brought it to the light.
Correct. And so you know, there was a lot of conversation about, like, you know, if the shoe was on the other foot, you know, is this, because that's always my question. So first of all, if you go out and you do dirt, don't invite me to your public apology. Fuck you. We'll deal with this privately or we won't. But what I'm not going to do is that under any circumstances. If I'm going to come out and say, look, we've worked through this, I don't need you. Actually, I don't need you in the picture. Let me do me. Let me do the thing. But, you know, all of these men who, you know, do this shit and then they want to present a united front, fuck that.
Yeah. So all the performative hand holding.
No, because we did not cheat.
Right.
You did.
Right.
And then people tried to be like, well, Will and Jada.
First of all, Will was sitting across the table like this.
Yeah, he did not look like, oh yeah, I understand.
Not holding her hand
Being
through
an
that
asshole, so you fuck somebody else. That was not his demeanor. They were sitting on
like
opposite sides of the table.
Will was like entanglement.
Exactly. I mean, and even though they had worked through it already, he was still looking like having to take this L at the red table is pissing me off all over. Right. So, let's don't do that. Let's don't do false equivocations. And also,
I can't think of a single dude. I asked my husband, I said, would you sit up there and hold my hand if I cheated on you while we made a video about it? He was like,
you hold this right here.
Right. Dudes just are not doing that shit.
So, but also in this video, he spoke about himself in third person.
Girl, which is what like exception.
That's what makes him a fuckboy. Because not only did you put this video out after the fact, and let's not forget that part of the reason. Go back. I can't make it stop. Stop sharing. Okay. Too many screens. Now everything's breaking down. My computer's falling. I promise it's not an earthquake, y'all.
You're saying part of the reason.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to my thing now because the slides keep advancing and it's problematic. But part of the reason, y'all, hold on.
That's okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you doing that? So yeah, that last video that he did was some old Inception shit. And if you haven't seen it, guys, he made one of his typical videos that he always does in his car, where he talks about something he's seen. It's kind of a reaction video. He does that sometimes, where he reacts to something stupid that a man has said or done, usually in a condescending way.
I was trying to pull that up because that's
the one. That's the one that landed him on the list, that gave him this week's honor, this quarter's honor, because he addressed himself. He watched his own video, the one that we were just talking about, and then he reacted to his own video.
He did.
And he spoke about himself in third person. And Kev on Stage broke it down the best. If y'all don't follow Kev on Stage, he is hilarity. But Kev on Stage broke it down.
I can't get back to you.
No,
I can't see anything.
You can't see anything?
No.
Are you kidding me? I can see you. We can all see you.
But I can't see.
Oh no. Keep working on it.
Because I have a video for that. But I can't get back to fucking StreamYard.
Well, I'm gonna talk in the meantime.
You do that.
But that's what landed him on our list, because he said and talked about so Kevin Stage really broke it down. If you haven't seen him breaking it down, please go watch it. But Kevin Stage is basically like, how do you find a way to, in this reaction video, give yourself some shine, applaud yourself for taking accountability, because he does. He applauds himself for taking accountability. And then also plug your books at the end, because he plugs his own books at the end of his reaction video, where he's reacting to him and his wife and their video discussing what had happened. Y'all, Derrick Jaxn is on some new next level fuckboy shit. And he had to respond in a video in the live that he and his wife did after that initial video to his beef with John Gray. Do y'all know who John Gray is?
Y'all. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why I've been blinded, but that's what actually got my attention.
Yes, talk about it.
Because John Gray was the pastor who was like, I had an emotional affair.
Mm-hmm.
There was no touching involved. There was no sexual relations, but I confided in another woman, to which most people were like, bullshit. But he tried to be like, unlike John Gray, who was out here talking about how he didn't, really cheat on his wife. I am confessing that I did have a sexual relationship. I mean, the L's that this woman took. But anyway, and so the Shade Room came into his IG live and was like, "Why did you bring up Pastor Sean Grady?" Mary and Joseph. Listen, the Shade Room is the shadiest.
They are.
Came in his joint and was like, "Yeah, but bro, why did you bring another incident into this?"
You comparing to yourself to someone else right now is not the way you want to go. That's not the best look.
It's not. It's actually not.
I know. So yeah, Derek Jackson is out here. First of all, JAXN. Okay, clearly not his real name. But
did you see that somebody tagged a picture of him from Tuskegee and they were like, "At Tuskegee, is this your man's?"
No.
Yes, honey.
What I did see though is that a former, well, I want to say former mistress, but clearly current mistress, came forward on some bloggers or podcaster show, and she talked about how she's a physician, and yeah, I listened to it. She's a physician in the area. She said they were dating. She didn't follow him on social media. She had never watched any of his videos before the scandal. And she said they would always be at her place. And then she said his videos where you see that White House in the background, and the podcast host is like, with the white arches, and she's like, yeah. She said, that's my house. And the podcaster was like, well, some of those are recent. And she was like, yeah, as in March recent.
Finally back. Okay. March recent. N-word.
Right.
N-word.
Yes. March. This motherfucker is sitting in his car in front of the mistress's house in March doing videos about how men suck and how they should be better.
Clearly, I overplayed my hand with the production, so I'm not going to pull that video up.
Yeah.
Pull the video up of him commenting on himself where he starts with, "I'm going to talk about myself in third person."
Yeah. That's never a good idea.
And he critiques her. He critiques her demeanor. Haven't you served her enough L's?
Right.
Leave her alone.
Yes. And, for all the folks who are coming for, I've seen the posts, you came home and your wife looked like this. I mean, you can't be mad that he's cheating.
Okay, see, that's what we're not going to do.
Well, we're doing it. We're doing it. And when I tell y'all, that shit gives me
hype, and not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Yes, we're doing it. We're out there saying this bullshit that if they're the dudes. And that was the one where I almost commented on.
Yes.
And I had to catch myself, and I was like, nope. I'm not getting dragged into this. It's and I'm gonna try to find it, because when I tell y'all that and it's a lot, apparently it's going around a lot. Dudes are making those kind of comparisons because they've gone back through her Instagram account and just seen all the pictures she's posted, and they're calling her frumpy and said, advising that if we want our man to not stray, we need to not be looking frump. Yeah. But that's what we're doing. That's what we out here doing, because people are trash. I think we mentioned that earlier.
They are trash. And, you don't want it with us.
You don't.
Because if we start talking about all the reasons and all the ways that we could justify stepping out on you with your fragile ass egos.
And well, it's just all the reasons.
All the reasons that we could, but you do it. You are Chris Rock used to do this bit about a woman who knows you ain't gonna hit her.
Yeah. Yes.
Y'all know we not gonna come for you like we could.
Right.
We're not gonna put you on the highlight reel.
No, and I say that all the time. Yes, right. Pull up a picture of Quavo. I say this all the time that we are diabolical in such that we know what buttons to push. We know what buttons to push that could blow all your shit up.
All of it.
Dudes, your shit is always the same. I mean, the same insults, the same, y'all say the same shit. You think that calling a woman fat or ugly is like
yeah, like
that's it. That's all you got. But if you are in a relationship with a woman, I trust you. She has her finger hovering over a red button
at all times.
At any moment blow your shit up. We talked about it when we were watching Malcolm and Marie. We were discussing Malcolm and Marie and how when she called him mediocre, she knew exactly what she was doing because that was the one word. That was the button. That was the red button.
Button to button. Who's got the button?
Yes. So dudes coming at her for being, and like somebody else said, we don't walk around all day, every day looking like we're, about to be on camera. That's not realistic.
And neither do you.
Your balls probably stink right now. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, but they're coming for her because, apparently he cheated because she's frumpy.
Somebody asked for this.
Yeah, there you go, Quavo. Which actually is next on our discussion.
Actually, he is next.
Because, he's out here trying it as well. Y'all saw that Sweetie broke up. Okay, for those of you who know, let me go back.
Yeah, go back.
I make a lot of assumptions when we're having these conversations.
What do they say on Girl Trek? Let's level set.
Let's level set, right? So Sweetie is a rapper. She's a beautiful woman who is actually getting more recognition now than she has at any point of her career. Her career has been a rough one trying to get to where she is. But now people are recognizing her. And she's been dating Quavo, who is, 1/3 of the Atlanta rap group, the Migos. I mean, arguably 1/3, some would say 1/2, because has anybody ever seen Takeoff? I mean, I don't know, but anyway.
Takeoff is like Humpty and
yes.
and the actual dude.
Yeah, exactly, some Digital Underground. But so 3 years together. She's a beautiful young woman. And they broke up. And basically, when she made the announcement on social media, she was like, basically,
bye.
She was basically like, we've broken up. Before this narrative goes another way, I cannot continue to allow myself to be disrespected. I can't continue to allow the disloyalty. And basically, we're going our separate ways and it's going to be all right. His response to her, and I'm going to paraphrase on social media, was, you called me out for cheating, and because of that, you're not the woman I thought you were.
Who did you think I was?
Right. And he didn't deny all of the cheating. She's just not the woman he thought she was, because I decided I didn't want to be cheated on no more, and that I was not going to let you sit here and make this story something else. Well, he went back and did all that, and she just responded, "Take care," which I thought was the.
And so he repossessed the Bentley that he gave her.
Get out of here.
And the meme going around was she wrote "take care" and he thought that she said "take car."
I love it.
0 days. 0 days. 0 days.
Oh, that's so good. That's
0 days.
Yeah, but he out here trying to go. She done flipped the script. You ain't gonna let me cheat on you no more? You are not who I thought you were.
You gonna call me out publicly for cheating? You were cheating publicly.
Right. So That's a yes.
You get woe out where you show out.
Ooh.
I know your mama taught you that.
Ooh, yeah. We need to put that on the shirt. You know, I got a cricket now.
Right? See? Get woe out where you show out.
Yes. Like literally writing this down so I can make a shirt later.
Cool. Yeah, we have a whole list of things that we need to put on the shirt.
Yes.
Go back and audit the chat.
You know what we need? We'll talk about this later, but we need a shirt with the logo on the front and all the sayings on the back.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm envisioning.
Yes. Okay. We got it. We here. Okay. So yeah. So speaking of dudes who out here touching shit they shouldn't be.
Sharing their peen like a Groupon.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Andrew Cuomo last time. And we are like 34 allegations in now. Of unwanted allegations of unwanted massages, looking down my shirt at my necklace, speaking in Italian and saying essentially you're very beautiful, but not saying ciao bella, right? Inviting people to the mansion to work on Saturdays, having nicknames, trying to incite jealousy among female coworkers. And all of that shit is aside from the underreporting nursing home deaths and your family getting a crack at the vaccine early and, you know, the usual type of abuses of power.
Yeah, the ones we're used to.
That's Andrew Cuomo, y'all.
Yeah.
And some of these allegations date back to when he was like AG and when he was, you know, in the Clinton administration or whoever administration he was in. It's not looking good.
It's not.
And he is like, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
I can't be stopped now. I'm a bad boy for life.
Exactly.
Yeah, he is. He said, I ain't resigning. Who gonna check?
Turned down for what?
Right. Who gonna check me, boo?
Y'all, Andrew Cuomo.
I know. He's doing this. It's something about New York, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. I mean, is he like, he needs a shirt that says Rudy taught me.
Exactly. Because Rudy was, you know, America's man post 9/11, and then we remembered who he was, and he showed us.
He showed us.
And you know, during the pandemic, Cuomo was the guy with his daily updates, and I mean, he was the guy. He was
America's president.
He was.
He was giving the actual goods. Everybody was tuning in to see what he had to say. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. And in the long-standing tradition of American presidents, now we're finding out about all of his dirt
transgressions.
Yeah, I hate it because you know, that was a good moment in our history. We rallied around him.
We did.
And womp womp. I know. Are you working up? You good? You looking confused? You got your brows furrowed.
Oh no, this is the sun. The sun's in my face.
Okay. Well, it's giving you the glow. You got that glow. I love that we both say that.
No, I was looking for the next thing as we talk about people who experience life on a pedestal and then come to find out. So this is the new group, come to find out. So I don't know. I think you can be a casual football fan and know who Deshaun Watson is. Mm-hmm. He was a Clemson quarterback, you know, well known and highly regarded for his humanitarian work, and you know, Dabo Swinney, who I hate. No, I don't hate him. I loathe him. Who was the coach of Clemson, always singing his praises. He went on to become the quarterback of the Houston Texans, and now he wants out because they're not giving him no help. But hold on there, Hotfoot. Not not 2, not 3, but 14 people have alleged sexual misconduct, sexual assault. 14.
Yeah.
In like rapid succession.
Mhm.
And they tend to be massage therapists who say that he has basically made them touch his penis.
Mhm. Yeah.
Ill.
Right. Yeah. Ill. Let's start with ill.
Ill.
And so I think this is where I tend to be naive, and not in that I don't know that misogyny exists, and not that I don't know that, you know, sexism is, is and has always been an issue.
Sorry,
it's not included.
Not included in the deep touch. Yeah.
But I think that I tend to be naive, and that I just often don't realize how pervasive it is. That people with some renown, and I'm sure their renown enables them, but are so blatantly assault women all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we wait for our heroes to be the best they can be, and then we talk about all the shit they do.
Facts.
That's true. But I every time I'm just like, really? When you would think that, like, when it comes to acts of racism at this point, I'm like, well, duh, of course. Right. And I don't think I've gotten to that point yet when it comes to this kind of to sexual assault, because I'm still just like, really, dude? Like,
and see, I think again, the image problem that we have in this country, in this society, is we toss that term around, sexual assault, but we don't really make explicit the assault portion, right? Mm-hmm. So we still think that, and we as a culture still think that rape is, dark alley, stranger, push you down on the ground and take it from you. We don't make allowances for what rape actually is. Mm-hmm. We don't make allowances for what assault actually is.
Absolutely.
If you take your hand and put it in your crotch, that is assault.
And you don't even have to do that. At that point, that's battery.
Right. So I didn't ask to touch your penis. Right. I wasn't thinking about your penis.
Yeah. And sexual assault is a lot less than that. And I think that is a lot less than that.
That's why so many people brush it off and be like, that's not assault. That's, part of what Andrew Cuomo is trying to act like, you weren't spun up on what it is. Right. Yeah. It's not, hey, honey, how you doing? That's not assault. Right. Hey, honey, how you doing? After I've told you multiple times, stop calling me that or stop talking to me. Now we're talking about, but we still haven't made allowances for what falls under that umbrella. And I think a lot of we always see these memes about how, we teach our daughters how to comport themselves so as not to elicit the male gaze, but we don't teach our sons about appropriate behavior and what's not appropriate. Therefore, you get to be, in a room with your massage therapist and you've been told that, you can spring for a happy ending, and you get to the place where you're like, I'm going to take my happy ending. Yeah. You want this, who I am, you know what I want? Like, come on now, stop playing.
Historically, though, we always teach our victims to adjust their behavior rather than teaching the aggressors to adjust theirs. Much like with the Stop Asian Hate. Okay, sure, we can stop Asian hate, but how about we stop white terrorism?
How about that?
We tend to suggest that our victims adjust rather than fixing the cause of the issue. Cheetah, maybe I was raised differently, but why do women hold on to these incidents instead of speaking out the moment it happens? Trauma.
Yeah.
Trauma for one reason. I mean, I'm starting with trauma. There are many reasons, and we can talk about several reasons, but I would say absolutely trauma. I don't know if and I don't want to know if you've ever had a traumatic experience happen to you, but literally physically, you can be physically paralyzed by trauma, and certainly psychologically paralyzed by trauma. It's real. It's not anecdotal. It's not a notion. It's proven in science that you can be physically paralyzed, and you can absolutely be mentally paralyzed to the point where you are afraid. You can be afraid of retribution. You can be afraid of not being believed. You can be afraid of being blamed.
All of those
things. And it's much like when, people don't report incidents of, racial discrimination at work because your job could be on the line. I mean, so there's so many reasons to hold on to these things. And just like any kind of trauma, when you work through it and you get to a point where you're strong enough, sometimes then you can say, okay, I feel empowered enough where I can speak my truth. And that may be a decade later. It may be a week later.
And I think also that, we've internalized a lot of responsibility that actually doesn't belong to us.
Absolutely.
Like, I was drunk. I was falling down drunk. I, woke up in somebody's bed and, no one's going to even believe that I'm actually recollecting this appropriately because you just admitted you were drunk. Yeah. Some judge in Minnesota recently, like yesterday, literally ruled that it wasn't a rape because you drank first. You drank beforehand. Mm-hmm. A judge adjudicated this matter and said this, right? Mm-hmm. And so, there is a lot of feeling like, did that just happen? Mm-hmm. This is my friend. I can't believe he just, did that. Especially for the smaller transgressions, we're sitting at a bar and you take my hand and make me touch you, like nasty, ew. And then you keep it moving. Like, you're not like, I'm calling the police or I have to tell somebody, because there's also protection mode. My father, I can't imagine going and telling him, when I was in high school or when I was in college, that somebody did something like that and thinking about that person living after I said it, right? So some of it is like, I can't control what happens next, let alone what people are going to say about me and to me and all that I'm going to have to go through and, all of that. But like, what about my gun enthusiast father? Yeah.
And I will say this too. And this was, let me see, my baby is 19. So this is, almost 20 years ago, that I went to a gas station in the morning after dropping my kid off in the drop-off line. And I went inside to get something at the gas station. And the proprietor of the gas station kept trying to offer me a sausage biscuit. It was early in the morning, wrapped up sausage biscuit. And I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. And he was aggressive, like, yeah, please, you can have it. It's free. And I didn't even eat pork, but he was being very aggressive with wanting to give it to me. I was like, okay, all right. Thank you. Got it. And the minute I accepted the biscuit, he grabbed my breast. I had on a t-shirt and I had on a leather jacket over it. And he reached out and he grabbed my breast. And I remember running out of the store because I didn't know how to respond. Now, I was 20 years younger. That wouldn't be my response today. I also carry today. I didn't carry then.
Also that. But I'm also more aware of my own propriety. I'm aware of my own autonomy. I'm aware of the rules and the boundaries surrounding my body, many of which I didn't realize that I wasn't aware of then. And I told nobody. I eventually told my husband, who went back up to the place, and I don't know what happened. But I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And I thought at the time, did I encourage him by accepting the biscuit? So if I told anybody, I had no proof. Right.
No proof that it happened. So who do I tell and why? Yeah. What do I think is going to be the outcome of that? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think we get into a really dangerous place where we start, the husband is walking up like he's reliving the moment. But I think we get into a really dangerous place when we start questioning why somebody held it rather than questioning why the person did it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you know, I think it's human nature to question, like, dang, why didn't you tell somebody? Right. But as at my age today, hearing that story from you, like I've never heard that story before.
Really?
My first thought is not, why didn't you run home and tell your husband, or tell, you know, why didn't you tell me, or what, you know, that's not my first thought at this juncture, you know.
Yes.
But there was a time when that was my first thought.
Right.
And, you know, I always say, because I live in a house full of men, like, I challenge you to find a female who hasn't had something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, you know, in the moment, you're like, you know, or something very traumatic that you're just holding on to. I was like, I defy you to find, I told them, like, ask if you have good friends that are girls, you know, ask them if y'all have that relationship, just a yes or no. Because I was like, I think you'll be surprised how many women have a story.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking at me and I'm like, if you feeling froggy, jump. But
yeah, absolutely. But I think there are many women who are just getting to the point in their 40s where they realize they have power over their own bodies and over. So, you know, maybe, you know, your mom was Gloria Steinem and you knew it well. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even when you think you know, until you are tested.
Yeah. And I think it's great. Like, girls today are so much more like, oh, fuck no.
Yes, they are.
Absolutely not.
But guess why they're that way? It wasn't just evolutionary.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, so, you know, I hate this. I hate that this is what, you know, we're finding out about people, you know, our faves. We don't care about your dog. Your dog can bark. It's okay. It is disappointing, but, you know, the cynical side of me is like, I'm not surprised. And that's the part that's really hurtful. It's like, I'm just not surprised. I'm fucking not surprised.
Yeah.
So
I'm
just gonna breeze through this because this is bullshit, and it's only relevant to people who are from Georgia and understand the love affair around Georgia, University of Georgia athletics, and the people who matriculated through them. And Herschel Walker,
he was an icon.
He was an icon. And nobody was thinking about Herschel Walker until the RNC.
Yeah.
This past summer.
Well, no, because he's been on their train.
He has
for a while.
But Herschel Walker's name wasn't on the tip of anybody's tongue for quite some time. Like, we knew, Herschel Walker, here he go with his bullshit.
Right.
But when he showed up at the RNC over the summer telling a story about taking Donald Trump's children to Disney World, I guffawed multiple times. I think I pulled something laughing because I was like, what a bunch of bollocks. And I know I'm not British, but that just
sometimes you just gotta dig into that lexicon. Yeah.
So because he did that, he got on Trump's good side, if there's such a thing, on his list. Now he's actively trying to buck him up, to gas him up, to run for either a Senate seat or governor. Now we're gonna talk about why he's probably not gonna run for governor in just a second. But 0 days. And he's out here like really thinking. I mean, he just learned to speak the King's English.
I was about to say,
just learned to speak the King's English.
Say, have y'all heard him speak?
And now he has deficits. Yes. And now, because of people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and, you know, people who wound up getting elected over anybody else. DJ React is here. I heard my country. Yes, because I said welcome. because it's one of my favorite British words.
Mhm.
But Herschel is gonna try it. He in the legend of Vernon Jones and other cooning
Uncommon
ass,
name.
step and fetch it ass
Yeah.
people.
Bloody hell. Blood. That was for you. That was for you, T.
What
Bloody
happened?
hell. Bloody
Oh, yes, bloody hell. Um, he is going to try it, and that's why he's in this category of like fuck boy shit. He's gonna try it, and I'm really depending on my Georgia peeps to smack that down Dikembe Mutombo style. Like, no, that's not what you're going to do, and just sit over there and be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And leave the rest of us out of it, because no.
I would love to say we don't have to worry about him, but
No, we can't say
about
it.
Trump. So.
We can't say it.
We can't
I mean,
say
we
it.
said it about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like,
Yes.
she was not supposed to get elected.
Right.
And, the good news is that even good white folks only want Herschel Walker in the box that he's in.
Absolutely.
Right. And so, in the next segment, a couple segments from now, or a couple of topics from now, we'll talk about why it won't make good sense for him to run against Brian. But
yeah, no.
Senate seat, don't do it. Georgia, don't do it. Look at Tommy Tuberville in Alabama. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know.
Don't
Georgia
do it.
got me worried right now.
I know. I mean, and Trump's not slick. It's like, well, the black people want somebody black. We'll give him Herschel Walker, right? But he's not smart enough to see that that's what it is, right?
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
So that's all I want to say about Herschel, because fuck him.
I'm stepping away from the camera for 1 minute, but I need you to start this next one. I promise I'm not bringing back props or anything. I just need to grab some.
You can bring back props if you want to.
No, but please start talking about Lil Bow Wow.
Lil Mama.
Lil Bow Wow, same person.
Y'all, Lil Mama is a rapper. And I say all that with a raised eyebrow because I don't really listen to contemporary rap anymore, for real. Like, I find out what's hot from my kids, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now who is this? And I won't remember. But Lil Mama had some thoughts on the LGBTQ plus community, and feeling like she gets bullied for having an opinion that's, not pro. I'll put it like that. So in one breath, she says, look, I rock with it. I rock with y'all. I.e., I have some LGBTQ plus friends. So I'm not telling y'all not to, be out here living your best life. However, she feels beaten over the head. Like there's a way that she's supposed to feel about this, or else. So she calls it bullying. And then she continues on to say that she wants heterosexual rights.
Okay, so let me just say this all, if you watched her rant, like most ignorant ass things, it just comes from a place of misinformation, right?
Yeah.
She says things like she basically argued that we need a white history.
She did.
She says things like, children, and my child ever got old enough that, he decided that he wanted to be gay.
Or decided that he wanted to be a she.
Yes. Then I would love him and support him. But these are children, and we're out here letting children make decisions like to cut off their genitals, and that is not okay. Who is letting children cut off their genitals? I don't understand why ignorant ass folk and it's always black folk, are out here talking about, because I think it was Boosie who did it first, talking about
Zaya Wade.
Yeah, and that's really what she was referring to too.
Also,
allowing Zaya to cut off her genitals. No one is allowing children to cut off their genitals. Nobody anywhere is allowing children to cut off their genitals. There's no American physician who is allowing children to decide that they should cut. There's no American physician who is cutting off children's genitals for
And it's also ignorance around what it is to be trans.
Absolutely.
It doesn't always result in a sex change.
It
doesn't, right?
It would always result in even hormones. It doesn't.
And so, you know, the level, there's levels to the ignorance of these statements. I mean, you know, choice used as a dirty word.
Right.
You know, and then going to the extreme, you know, going to making an extreme analogy or an extreme example. And it's like, who?
Right.
Who?
Yeah, who's doing that?
And how do you say in one breath that you know, you have the right to live how you want to, and then in the next breath be like, but not that, or but not this. And basically what you're saying is keep it over there. Like, I don't want to see it. And this hate for Zaya Wade is vexing. Because, you know, in one breath, you want to say that children are humans. They're human. They're tiny humans. They're tiny human beings. But in the next breath, you want to say they don't know themselves.
Right.
And then you're upset at the shine, right? Of, you know, I'm here and I'm in living color. And this is who I am. And this is what I do. And my two parents.
That's what I'm saying. My two parents support me out loud.
They support the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Right. And and because my last name is Wade, I also have opportunities to mix and mingle with Michelle Obama and, you know, interview her and do these things. And I have a platform that you just don't have, you little mama. And now you're going to make that about I'm being bullied. And if I disagree, you can disagree. You can feel like I don't support that. Right. But you get what you get. And that's the thing I don't understand about these people and their platforms. If you put it out there, right. If I put out there that I hate the color red and all the red lovers come for me. Well, I put that shit out there.
But here's what's different there. Here's what's different there. Because if you say you hate the color red, that's based in fact. Right?
Yeah.
You actually do hate the color red. The shit you say, you don't get to claim that someone is infringing on your right,
girl.
When you're out here saying things that are blatantly false. You're out here, you're making claims against people and you're making claims about people that are blatantly false. You don't know what you're talking about. So what you're doing is you're spitting lies and then you're getting mad at people for correcting your ignorance.
Your ignorance. And then like DJ React said, then there's more ignorant people who amplify this and say, like she said, you know, and it's just like, we both said we've gotten, it's so weird, but go ahead. We've gotten to the space where we say what we want and it's like we're saying it into a void and nothing's supposed to come back to us. Yeah. And then when something comes back to us, we double down. Like I said earlier, normalize revising. I'm not even saying changing, revising your opinion when you have more information. But you don't want more information. You want to cling tightly to, you know, this thing that I said, and then want to be like, well, I'm not saying, you know, they should be executed. I'm just saying. And it's like, see, here you go again with the hyperbole. Right? Yeah. Double down and play victim. Sharon Osbourne. We can talk about her.
But you absolutely can't say that you feel like you are being bullied when you are absolutely discriminating against a group of people, and then people come back to you and say, hey, you can't discriminate. I
mean, and heterosexual rights, again, back to the conversation of default setting. That is the default.
Absolutely.
Everything that we do in this country is, you know, cis het normative, period. And then everything else is othered. Everything else is, you know, so again, as Jazzy said earlier, the whole White History Month, that's the fucking default. That is what we learn. That is, you know, what we do. Don't talk to me about that. That's 365 days a year.
Absolutely.
Same thing with heterosexual rights. All the laws are written. It's still on the books in certain states. Georgia, looking at you, you know, sodomy and, you know, things like that. It's illegal. Yeah. You can still be arrested for that if somebody wants to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's so funny if the GOP realized how truly conservative Black folks are.
They would do better. They would do better.
They would do better.
They would do better.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yes, she doesn't recognize her privilege.
Absolutely. And when you talk about revising your opinion, whether you agree with his motivation or not, whether or not you agree with his motivation, I really respected when President Obama came back and said, you know what, I had this belief about gay marriage, and you know what, my beliefs have evolved. Yeah. And because whether it was politically motivated or not, that's a position that people don't often take publicly, is that, you know what, I thought this one thing and I was wrong, and now I think another thing. Mm-hmm. And I respect that. I respect the ability to be able to say, you know what, I have more information now.
I have more information now. Well, and that's what gets people in trouble with these old tweets that didn't age well.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, yes, I tweeted that. That's mm-hmm. where I was in 2009. Yep. I'm proud to say that's not where I am today.
Absolutely. See how easy and simple that is?
I thought these things. Don't say you were hacked.
Yeah, don't
double down and be like, I said what I said.
Right.
And let me revise that statement. If you're like, I said what I said, cool, then we know, right? Yeah. But don't be like, well, that was 10 years ago.
And that was okay then.
And what? Yeah, and it was okay then. It was a sign of the times then. It was okay to be, wholly transphobic and fatphobic and, all of these things. But
yeah.
Is that where you are today? Like, that's all. I don't want your bullshit apology. I just want to know, is that where you are today, so that we're moving forward in an honest direction? Yes. I know this about you, and or that's, what, that's who I was.
Yeah.
That's what I was. Today, I know better. Today, I know different. Let's stop saying good and bad. Today, I know
different. Yes. Different. Today, I know different. Write that one down.
That's one to grow on.
Yeah. Put that down. Literally writing it. Okay.
Now, we got to descend into some dark shit.
Yeah, we do. I know.
And I don't know if y'all knew this, but Jim Crow he's still here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all realize that it never went anywhere. It just, as Stacey Abrams says, wears a suit.
Yeah.
It's not overalls and a corn pipe.
Yeah. Corn cob pipe.
Corn cob pipe. Thank you.
I don't know why everybody in the world decided to just text me. I've just got like 5 texts in the past minute. I don't know what's happening. Let me make sure nothing's on fire. There's no earthquakes. Okay.
Right. Yes. Today I know different. Teaching of the day. Yep. So let me just start by saying this. It is absolutely easier to get a gun than it is to vote.
Absolutely.
If you are Black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely easier to get any kind of gun that you want, and multiple of them. And listen, y'all, I am not anti-gun. I'm not. I did not grow up in an anti-gun house. I grew up, my dad had guns, lots of them. I have a healthy respect for guns. I think they're kind of cool, right? So I'm not on some old, and no one is, I just want to say, taking your guns from you.
Right.
So we need to stop that bastardization off top. No one is talking about coming into your house and seizing your weapons, but tell me why you have to get a license to drive. You have to register to vote. You have to, register for most things, not to have a kid, which that's a separate conversation. But you basically just show up and pay your money and get a background check to get a gun. 3-day waiting period. In some states, 7 in Cali, I think. Can't buy your gun and your ammo at the same time. Oh, yeah, cool. But you can buy your ammo in Walmart. So let's just put that out there.
Or order it online, trust me.
Or order it online. But if you want to vote, many states are taking that to an extreme, back to basically counting jelly beans and soap bubbles and, reciting
The Constitution.
the Constitution and, saying the ABCs backwards and all this sort of shit. And the great state of Georgia, where I was born and raised, where all my people still live, has signed some fuck shit into law that includes, among other things, not
the most egregious part. Yeah.
Not being able to provide water to people in line. It is illegal if you roll up on some Good Samaritan shit and been like, y'all, it's 8 hours from here. Here's some water.
Yeah, or pizza or something.
Or food.
I took a screen capture of this tweet. It was a tweet where Chuck Schumer said, since 2012, the Georgia GOP has closed more than 200 polling places. Voters in mostly Black precincts now wait 8 times longer to vote than voters in mostly white precincts. I'm just going to repeat that part. Voters in mostly Black precincts now wait 8 times longer to vote than voters in mostly white precincts. Now, the GOP makes it a crime to give water to the people standing in the long lines they created. So we're talking about limiting absentee ballot drop boxes. We're talking about having ID requirements for absentee ballots, which I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, and no more no excuse.
Right, no more no excuse.
Absentee ballot voting.
Yes. We're talking about shortening early voting hours.
Taking it out of Sunday.
Because
we only vote on Sunday. This is the thing that kills me about the GOP, the GQP. Oh, what's up, Quasi? I see you, boo.
Yeah.
What year are y'all living in? Because I'm just out there. Not being able to vote on Sunday ain't stopping nobody.
No. But and that's what Jazzy said. The souls to the polls is what they're trying to get rid of.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of initiatives that
that cater to
correct
large groups of Black folks where we congregate. Yeah. Go ahead.
They're gross. And I'm saying that you've shown us your hand. Like I said before, where are the doctors who are going to write these notes so that protected populations can use an absentee ballot? Who is going to set up shop in the parking lot with, who's the ice cream man that's going to set up shop in the parking lot? You said we can't pass it out in line.
Yeah.
Cool. Can we supply people with it on their way into line? What is the distance that I have to be from the polling place? Who, new idea. Let's hire some people to be standing in line for you. Your numbers up.
I like that. Where are Uber and Lyft?
Yes. Yeah. Where are the people? Your numbers up. You need to come and vote.
Yep.
With 30 minutes from here, you got 30 minutes to get here. And then, I'm gonna go stand in another line for you. Let's.
And we're about to get creative.
Yeah.
Stacey Abrams said it. She's like, we beat them every time.
Every time
we win, and we're gonna do it again. This is motivation. Yes. Oh Lord. Have you seen the comparison of the pictures of Park Cannon knocking on the door versus the insurrectionists bursting through the door?
Yes.
So it's like they said, knocking while Black and knocking while white.
What do y'all see? You see
it's right.
Cool. This is the new Jim Crow. That's what I should have said. And then here's Representative Park Cannon being arrested for knocking on the door because she wanted to see this fucker sign this into law, which, in any other time, you would have had this done on a lawn somewhere or outside, or, we'd invite everybody to come see it. But no, not
absolutely.
this time.
one of our sorority sisters pointed out, as they stand there in front of a picture of a plantation, signing it into law some of the most restrictive voter restrictions in history, but in recent history. But we're going to win. This is where, I mean, Black folks are some of the most creative people in the world, and they're about to find out. They're about to find out.
They are.
Because if they think we came out before.
Right. You have no idea.
Oh, not even ready. Not even ready.
Not even close to ready. Meanwhile, we got shootings left and right. We had the one in Atlanta, the massage parlors shootings with the
one that was a massage parlor, the others that were spas, but we don't call Spa Hydale a massage parlor. But
right, exactly.
It's deliberate framing, but yeah.
Oh, and the frame. Let's talk about the framing real quick, especially in Georgia, because you got your. I don't think he was an actual chief information officer, but he's out here talking about how the shooter had a bad day, how
at the end of his rope.
He's at the end of his rope, but also that he's addicted to. He has a sex addiction.
Yeah,
and so not inadvertently, you slyly insinuate that these businesses were not on the up and up.
Right.
That they were, sex workers, and that's why he went in and shot the places up. And it's like, okay, way to taint the jury pool, because now you're like, do you believe, when you're trying to get people to, reasonable doubt, that's always going to be in their head. Like, what if they were giving handies at the end? And does that even make them less human by doing so?
That's what I was about to say. So first of all, I'm going to need us to stop with this whole fake morality around sex workers. Let's just stop there.
Shaking my tambourine.
Yeah, there's a market for sex workers because there's a market for sex workers.
Because there's a market for sex workers.
Exactly. So, because they can't make money off of the sex workers. I mean, because they're making their own money on their own bodies, but that's the whole thing. That's assuming that people are sex workers, but whether or not they were sex workers does not matter. I think that that indicts him more, because it says you were fetishizing Asian women, and because you fetishized them, you were unable to control your own shit, and therefore you had to eliminate your temptation. That's
problematic on many levels.
Right, that's on you, homie.
Yeah, on many levels.
Yes, and there has been a market for sex workers since the beginning of.
There's a reason it's called the oldest profession.
Exactly.
And then to have someone in a police uniform spout that was just like, you've got to be shitting me.
Yeah. And with shoulder shrugs, like, I mean,
he's having a really bad day. He had a really bad day.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, and they didn't fire him. They took him off the case.
Yeah.
But and we had just talked about in our last live the need for Black folks to be allies to the AAPI community right now. And this was before the shooting, obviously. But we had talked about the need for Black. And do you know what I'm seeing? I'm going to make another special plea, if I may, to Black folks out there. So I'm seeing a lot of rhetoric about how the Asian community does not support us in our social justice efforts. And therefore, we're like, I mean, that's your problem. Handle it. I've seen it a lot. I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but I've seen it a lot. People are saying it, when y'all decide to help us, then we can decide to help you.
Right.
And it's not true. I talked about before how when we did our Black Lives Matter protests, especially out here in Gwinnett, which is a highly Asian community, there were, half the people protesting were Asian Americans. And it's just not true. Are there some who don't? Absolutely. Are there some who practice racism against us? Of course. Are there some places where we can't go into their stores without being followed around? Yeah, all of that is true. But the idea that there are some Asian Americans who are racist against Black folks, and the idea that we should still stand up to stop the hate and violence against Asian Americans are not mutually exclusive. We can walk and chew gum. We have to understand. Yeah,
and we absolutely should stop trying to perpetrate these crimes. It's like hazing. It's like, well, I went through it, so you got to go through it. No,
right.
No, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right. And then what's the fee? What's the fee they have to pay in order for us to get, in order for us to support them?
Yeah. Because what's the end game?
I mean, if we're like, well, until y'all support us, so we can do this all day. If nobody says, I'm going to be here for you. Now, next time, be here for me.
Now, and who wins? Who wins? Right. White people. Right. The white people, the oppressors.
White supremacy. Let me say that. White supremacy wins.
The oppressors. Yep. And that also is short-sighted. It doesn't make any sense. So every time I see one of these stories where it's a Black person that has beat up someone that's Asian, I'm just
this face.
0 words, 0 days.
Yeah, 0 days.
0 days.
0 days.
0 days. Like it's real.
Yeah. So cut that shit out with the whole. We need something from them before we support their basic fucking humanity. We don't need anything from anybody before we support the fact that you are a human being who deserves to live and thrive just because you breathe.
Because you breathe.
And
so before we could even fully digest and metabolize the shootings in Atlanta, we get another one in Boulder. Now, Colorado is really interesting. Someone put up a graphic where they were talking about Columbine, and then there was something at a middle school shortly after Columbine, and then there was, the shootings in Aurora, and there were like 8 of them. And the person who put the graphic up was like, all of these are within 20 minutes from where I live, including the King Super, the supermarket. And I'm just like, what is happening? Is it the thin air? Like, what is it in Colorado, in this particular area?
Yeah.
Where every so often something happens, there's a shooting, a shooting. And so, in a grocery store, killed a cop. He himself was injured. And, of course, at first there was no mention of the name. So we all, jumped to the appropriate conclusion. But then there was the whole, once his name was released and it's Muslim sounding, and I do finger quotes because then there was a little bit of flip-floppage about gun control and gun safety from people like Lauren Boebert, who is in the House of Representatives and frequently zooms into her meetings with a rifle behind her. But, again, it's just this idea that, they've already floated out the mental illness piece. What else have they floated out? The NRA comes out and they say their thing, and don't talk to us about guns if you don't know what the AR stands for in AR-15, because most people are like, oh, it stands for assault rifle. No, it doesn't. It's the type. It's like ammo something or other, like something. I looked it up, but none of that is the issue. Again, back to our early. Our earlier statement that it's easier to get guns, therefore easier to go out and, and Colorado, I think, is an open carry state, right? So this idea that people float out there, well, if everybody has a gun, then it's, it's okay. No, that's not the case. Because clearly when he opened fire, people in the grocery store did not fire back. right? We're not actually living in the Wild Wild West. That's not actually people's inclination. People who understand the purpose of carrying a weapon are not out here, being Cobra Kai up in this bitch. And like, if I think you look shifty, that's not how it goes. And most people's idea is to duck and cover anyway. And
what's the whole appeal of this open carry shit? What's the whole appeal of walking around with rifles attached to your back when you're going to go pick up your caramel macchiato? I don't understand. I just don't get it.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Anybody know? Anybody get why that's a thing? Feeling powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, I'll say, but feeling powerful to do what? Because where are you motherfuckers when the shooting starts?
Right.
You mean to tell me nobody in the supermarket had a gun?
Right. And that goes back to the guy who was at the Publix, again, here in Atlanta, who had how many guns? I don't know. Yeah, Black people can't open carry. Don't even,
hey, Salty.
Yeah, and yeah, what's up? But the guy in Publix who walks in and goes to the bathroom doesn't actually shoot anybody. But react. I was thinking the same thing.
Yes, small dick energy. Yes.
But and who now it's so funny because these NRA folks are so fickle. Because we're all about gun rights and open carry, and you get to do that, and it's legal, and you can't say shit until a Black man walks in with 8 guns into a Publix and goes to the bathroom and doesn't shoot anybody, and is now arrested, and bond has been denied, and yeah. Now, do I think he should be walking into Publix with 8 different guns? Absolutely not. I think it's stupid, bad decision, and we still don't know what he would have done had he been left alone. But I love how the activists are not speaking up.
No,
for his right to have walked in there. He had a permit.
Yeah,
and he didn't do anything illegal, but he's being denied bond. Mm-hmm. So
Armalite 15. That's what AR stands for.
Just so you know,
in case anybody tries to shut you down. About it being an assault rifle or not. And it actually apparently is not technically an assault rifle. It's more like a pistol. But
AR-15 is more like a pistol?
Well, in the mags and all of that, but it's not it's not automatic. Mm-hmm. So you can put things on it like the bump stocks and all that stuff that they outlawed, but it's actually not. So yeah, anyway, I'm just trying to help y'all be in conversations with people who are going to try to shut you down and be like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You think it stands for assault rifle. It doesn't. Armalite. Hit them with that.
No, thanks.
But yes, what was so heartbreaking about reading the narratives was that now we have reached a place where people were not confused about what they were hearing in the grocery store. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Back when Columbine happened, I know where I was when that story broke and how people were like, yeah, we thought it was like firecrackers or something. Like we didn't realize, and then as we go on, so now 21 and a half years later, we hear a pop in the grocery store and automatically we know it's like, okay, that sounded, it's not a joke anymore. Get down. Like, no. Really, it is, and that's really a sad state of affairs that we've come to that where, that's actually our first thought when we hear the pop. Now, Black people, we do that.
Always. We was running anyway.
We know, get Lisa and them.
Right. Lisa and them better just know to run when people start running.
Yeah, it's good. Rendezvous point. Everybody got phones. Call me.
Right.
So, that's a hot mess. But we still signing Jim Crow style legislation. Yeah. And in Atlanta, it's a particularly interesting phenomenon because all of your faves live in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Delta Airlines, Home Depot, Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. Where y'all at? Hollywood can't get enough of filming in Georgia.
No.
They filmed The Winter Soldier and The Falcon and Winter Soldier in Georgia. Yep. And I'm like, they're filming shit right now
Yeah.
Where y'all at? I saw that weak ass statement by the Chamber of Commerce, and I was like, okay. And how people were like, yes, we in keeping with the Georgia Chamber of Commerce. No, but for real,
Yeah.
where's Coke?
I love how folks are coming, lawmakers are coming for Mayor Keisha, saying that Atlanta has a violence problem and apparently nobody can do anything about it.
Oh, here y'all go. Okay.
Yeah.
Cameron said for me to tell the story. So we were at Stanford one time going to like knowing a sound and first thing being duck and cover. And Kenny was at Stanford for the summer. We went to pick him up and we were just kind of walking around on campus and one of the sewers let off some exhaust and it started with a pop. Cameron left me. Cameron, he was like, I'm out this bitch. But I knew what it was. But you did not have to tell him to duck and cover. He was like, and he was what, 16, not even yet. And yeah, nah, B. He's like,
he's from here. It's baked into his DNA.
It's baked into the DNA. We know. But yeah, so these businesses have been really silent in the face of being able to just say something. Remember when the bathroom bills were all the rage, and companies were like, we won't come to your state, we won't bring our conventions, we won't do this, we won't do that. And then those bills didn't get signed.
Yep.
What gives?
Yeah.
What gives? For real. What gives? The good news is I don't drink Coke anymore. I mean,
right.
I slipped and had a couple since I stopped drinking Coke, but you don't got to worry about it right now. Dasani is my favorite bottled water. You ain't got to worry about it. I'll do Fiji or some other shit because really, now I can't say I won't fly Delta. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I was about to say. Delta's gonna be the hard one.
I can't not because I live so far away, and I like being able to pick my seats and that type of shit. But it's vexing that that a stronger stance hasn't been taken. I mean, the bill has been signed into law, so now we got to fight it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, we're doing law. I mean, fair fight. Stacey Abrams has already filed suits. But yeah, now we got to do this from the back end. Yeah. And
now people are going to, and that's when people are going to try to jump on the bandwagon. And that's the part that pisses me off because you'll effectively be able to like erase your complicity by jumping in when there's momentum to, get rid of it. And I'm just like, that's some bullshit. Y'all need to do better. Where's Killer Mike?
I know.
Where's Ice Cube?
Hopefully learning his lesson and keeping his mouth shut. Hopefully that's where Ice Cube is.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, all these people had all this smoke and, for what we should be doing and how we should be comporting ourselves and what's fair and what's not fair and where you at?
Yeah.
Just a question. Behind that preposition. I know that's what some of y'all are thinking, but
they know what it is. They know what this is.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
On further fuck shit.
Further fuck shit.
Further things that folk have tried. Because we were very conscious of our time on our last episode because we both had things we had to go do. This time we have just been like, time.
We got through the first block in an hour, in under an hour.
But we're also at 2.5, and we got several things left to go.
Luckily, it won't take it though. These next few things we can hit it and quit it.
Yeah. Okay. So, on further fuckery,
the
NCAA, which has a long history of profiting off of young folk and
Black men.
Yeah. Black men. They're profiting off
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck.
Just keep it a buck. So and that's a long history. NCAA has of that. But in their recently they have been on the most sexist shit. I am flabbergasted at what they have done in relation to women's basketball versus men's basketball. and the accommodations they have made for each. Now, I don't know. I mean, I think everybody has heard, we'll still talk about it, but I think everybody has heard about the disparities in their weight rooms. I mean, if you haven't, oh gosh, what's the name of the player who posted the video that showed the disparities in the weight rooms?
If you hadn't asked.
I know.
I mean, suffice it to say, you can buy what they gave to the women, you can buy at Target.
Yes.
It's
you can buy it at Walmart.
Like a weight stand with some weights, some barbells.
Like this high.
The cute ones, the soft pink and blue and purple and green. And
a single triangular weight stand that goes like this high. And then the men had a fully functioning
not to get in shape girl home kit. Yes, man. That is what it looked like. Get in shape.
So yeah. And then when they tried to say it was about space, then they refuted that claim. No, actually, see, we've got this one little weight stand and we've got all this open space. So it's not about space. It's about what you value. And then, did you hear about the difference in the COVID testing they were doing? Yes,
and the food.
Yes. The COVID testing to me seemed just like, really, dog? So the women are getting a basic antigen test rather than
the rapid.
Yeah. So how do you justify that? Why?
Misogyny.
I mean, yeah, misogyny is the reason. It's the black mom. But how are you justifying?
They don't feel like they have to. And I'm gonna because it's amazing, and I don't want to put her on blast, but you know, one of my line sisters is like the HR person at the NCAA. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is happening over there, sis? It's one of those situations where it's like, what you know, and again, if you are a college sports fan, but you don't support women's, you're not really you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really a sports fan if you have a problem with, or no, what did I see? If you have a problem with women's sports, you have a problem with women.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you think that any of that made sense? Mm-mm. You know, why? And the obvious answer is you pump so much money into the men's side, and then you get the return on investment because you pump no money into the women's side.
Absolutely.
And you get that same return on investment.
Yeah.
You don't routinely put them on TV. You don't throw them in our faces. Right. So
absolutely. Yeah, you get out what you put in.
Hi, cheetah girl.
It's
right. Cheetah girl.
Bye. It is. You would have been better off not having a weight room for the women.
Yeah.
Than putting that thing that Jazzy said she has in the corner of her 1-bedroom apartment.
Right.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah, the NCAA, again, profiting off of these folks, not giving these kids the right to make money off of their own likenesses and images, and
talking about it taints the game. Oh, does it? Does it? Interesting that you would say that. So the NCAA, they are on that. Yeah, they are fuck shit too.
Yeah.
Boo hiss. And of course, it's not a discussion of fuck shit if Meghan McCain's name doesn't pop up.
I bet she's your fave.
I loathe her. Loathe this bitch. Oh my God. I'm going to say something.
Okay, say it.
Now that John McCain is dead, can we just fire her? Like, she got the job because of him, and now that he's gone, now that he's no longer with us, can it be the same for her? I'm not wishing her death. I'm saying, can she be out of our TV screens? I don't even watch The View, right? But Twitter blew up the day that she said this thing. And I mean, everybody for all over the globe was dragging her. And I was like, oh Lord, what does she do now? So John Oliver called her out on Last Week Tonight about some tweets about not having a problem with calling COVID the China virus after y'all's last president. She didn't have a problem with that. And so he called her out and she apologized. She was like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. That wasn't cool. And I can see how, that leads into the Asian hate, da, da, da. And then the next day, the ink wasn't even dry on the script of her apology before she comes out of her bloated ass face and says about the fact that The View has not had an Asian host since, she didn't say her name, but since Lisa Ling, when the show was new. And, does that mean that it's time for one of us to step aside and, let an Asian person take our spot, even though she may not be as qualified to sit in one of these seats? Bitch, did you just say qualified?
She did.
Did you? With your 90s style bun atop your head with the slick down baby that you borrowed from probably a Kardashian that borrowed it from, appropriated it from our community. Did you just say qualified? Bitch, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
And then,
as
the icing on the cake, quoted Dr. King.
Because always.
In the content of character.
All out of context, all. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. The content of character. I'm still stuck on qualified because your only qualification is that your last name is McCain. That was it. They're always looking for some white woman to sit in the conservative spot and rabble rouse.
Ooh, I'm writing that one down, Jazzy. Privilege is not qualification.
Hello, it's not. And so I'm gonna need you to keep that shit and also take your lumps because it was not pretty. It is completely inappropriate for her to say something like that, and to also, again, going back to things that are baked in. How dare you assume that someone who is an ethnic minority is unqualified?
Less qualified, or
just less qualified on that alone.
Yeah.
Lisa Ling is a fucking journalist.
Yes, and has been for decades. And you're right, has all the qualifications.
All of them.
And
trust and believe, Megan, if they were going to hire someone Asian, she would have all of those qualifications. Absolutely. The minorities have to have the motherfucking qualifications.
Yeah.
You ain't had to have no qualification except to be white in America.
Right.
With the last name McCain.
Right. Boy, you want to do a Papa Pope monologue right here. Twice. Yeah. All that. We all know the twice is good.
Fuck you, Meghan McCain.
Yeah. and since we're shooting these two talk show hosts, we can shoot these and these to Sharon Osbourne.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. Toodles.
Take your bitch ass friend Meghan McCain with you.
Toodles, Sharon. Sharon done lost her job. It took long enough for them to do that internal investigation,
which was clearly them ironing out the the bits of her departure.
Exactly, ironing out the golden parachute that she was gonna get. Yeah, she's gone. Tiff Star. I think it was as of last night.
They accepted her resignation. She has left the show, even though I have it. I'm not gonna put it up because it was a lot of words, but what they say, the events of the March 10 broadcast were upsetting to everyone involved, including the audience watching at home. As part of our review, we concluded that Sharon's behavior toward her co-host during the March 10 episode did not align with our values for a respectful workplace. We also did not find any evidence that CBS executives orchestrated the destruction or blindsided any of the hosts. At the same time, we acknowledge the network and studio teams, as well as the showrunners, are accountable for what happened during that broadcast, as it was clear the co-hosts were not properly prepared by the staff for a complex and sensitive discussion involving race. During this week's hiatus, bitch, it was 2 weeks, but whatever, we are coordinating workshops, listening sessions. Y'all kill me with these motherfucking listening sessions. Because do you hear us? But okay. And training about equity, inclusion, and cultural awareness of the hosts, producers, and crew. Going forward, we are identifying plans to enhance the producing staff and producing procedures to better serve the host, the production, and ultimately our viewers. Okay.
Yeah. I'm reading over right now because I was looking at Elaine Welteroth's posts.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been, right. She's been sub tweeting and shit on her posts over the past 2 weeks. Like for instance, she quoted Meg Thee Stallion 3 days ago. When you're being real, it doesn't matter who's being fake. She posted, grateful. I got you, you got me, we got us. There are storms that come into your life that do not pass first through his solid. I mean, she's clear about what she thought should happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then her post yesterday, I think it was 2 days ago, where she posted herself going in to get glammed up. Don't let the TV glam fool you. The smile is the only thing I keep on when the camera's cut off. But now she's going in to get her glam on. And Elaine is tangling with people in these comments who are coming for her, like, y'all got her fired. And no, Sharon got herself removed from the show.
It was a long time coming.
It was a long time coming.
You may get by, but you won't get away.
No, that's right.
Okay. You've been getting away with shit for years. Mm-hmm. All the people coming out the woodwork. We talked about this last time. Holly Robinson Pete, Leah Remini, Kathy Chin. Was that her name? I don't remember. There was an Asian person that was on that. Yeah. And the nicknames that she had for people. Shit. You lasted this long? Amazing. Julie Chin. Sorry. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes. Please. Bye-bye. Ain't nobody gonna miss you. Ain't nobody gonna miss you. Mrs. O.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yes. Listening sessions with no ears present. Just catching up.
True. Yes.
Words. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. These listening sessions. Listen. Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah.
You're not listening.
We all know it's an effort to be able to check a box and say we did something. You said this was a problem. Here are the steps. Here are the actions
we're planning on taking,
or even the actions we took. Now we're not going to measure the outcomes. We're not going to come back later and then compare to see if there's been any improvement. We're not going to do that, but this is a thing that we did, and we can say we did this thing.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
Bye.
Right. Bye. Y'all, why is the cereal out here gaslighting people? Cinnamon Toast Crunch is out here gaslighting people.
Listen, I don't fuck with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Believe it or not, it's too sweet for me. And cinnamon, small doses. But dude, you're supposed to find prizes in Cracker Jacks, right? Yeah, you're not supposed to find prizes in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Girl, yes.
Dude found a string. Mm-hmm. A random string. You should Google this, folks.
Yes.
You can see the pictures because the ones I have are not going to come up really well. But also shrimp tails.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a moment to let that sink in. Shrimp tails.
Sugar-coated
shrimp tails. Sugar-coated shrimp tails in the bag of cinnamon.
And it was after he'd already had some. So see, that's the part that made me retch.
They had a Laverne and Shirley. They was Schlemiel, Schlemazel, and then
shrimp tails.
What you hate is that's not the first time someone has found shrimp tails in Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm serious. I read on that apparently this has happened before with the shrimp tails. What the entire fuck? later, after Cinnamon Toast Crunch completely gaslit him and told him, upon further, now they're looking at pictures. He sent pictures. And their people came back and said, upon further review, our folks have found that it's just a conglomeration of sugar, basically.
Bitch, this is a shrimp tail.
This shit is curved and motherfucker. This is a shrimp tail.
I know what the fuck a shrimp tail looks like. I know what coagulated cinnamon would look like. It would be like a little ball, a little.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They sure did. They tried. They told him to take that shit to the police station.
Well, first they told him to send it to them. And he was like, no. The him we're talking about he's not famous, but his wife is.
He's Boy Meets World fans out there.
Yes, he's married to Topanga. Topanga's husband found the shrimp tail.
And so, like, his last name, dude's last name is Carp, and her last name is Fischel, or her maiden last name was Fischel, and they were making all these jokes about a man named Carp finds shrimp in his cereal, married to a woman named Fischel. I mean, like, it was crazy.
Yes. Also, did you see that when he looked back in the box later?
Try again.
Oh, Siri is like on one. That he found pieces that had little black, that looks like rat droppings in the pieces of the crunches, the squares, whatever you call them, rat droppings. So they wanted him to send it to them, and he was like, "Nah, play them." He said, "I wasn't even that mad about it. I was just like, what the fuck?" Until y'all tried to tell me I didn't see what I saw.
Right. And yes, that's why Topanga was trending.
Yes. So now he's like, now we got a problem because y'all tried to tell me I didn't see what I saw. Yeah. Also, he got him at Costco, didn't he? He got like several boxes at Costco. So
he took it to an independent lab.
Yes, he did.
Man, I don't know what the results are yet.
He took to the first one, and they sent him to a different lab because they said we can't test for whatever. So they sent him to a different lab. I think he's waiting for the results from that secondary lab. Yeah.
I need y'all to stop eating shrimp on the job.
Right. That's why I stick to Raisin Bran. See? Yes. I'm going to tell y'all a story. It's really gross, but I'm going to tell you a story. So this is about 2 years ago. Colby and I were eating at, I don't know if I should say the name of the restaurant. It rhymes with Chloe. Chloe's Kitchen.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
So we were eating at the restaurant, and in particular, the one up by Mall of Georgia. And I was sitting there. I see her make this face. She's sitting across from me. She makes this face, and she's like, she does this and pulls something out of her mouth. And she's like, "What is this?" And she puts it on her napkin, and we're looking at it. It's a fingernail. It's a blue fingernail. I know. That was her response. It's a blue fingernail.
It rhymes with smortion. Yes.
It was a blue fingernail. Of course, I lost my shit in Chloe's Kitchen. I went up to the, thing. They, did all the things, refunded me the money. They wanted it. There was when I'm yelling, there's a girl in the back who goes, and you can see her nails are blue.
You are fucking fired.
Right? And they're like, we'll give you a fresh meal to take. And we were like, or not.
No more.
Right. And refunded our money and all of that good stuff. But and so literally, Colby could not eat at one until like a few weeks ago. She was traumatized. We did the whole, we didn't sue anybody, but we went through the whole contacting the higher ups and so forth and so on. But yeah, that shit will traumatize you. At least dude who was eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch said he had eaten some before, and he just wanted to make sure he didn't eat any rat droppings or something. He would have felt the shrimp tail, but he wanted to make sure he hadn't eaten any rat droppings. Yeah, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch out here gaslighting. The people at Chloe's Kitchen did not gaslight me.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
I know. I'm just full of stories today.
You really are. Ugh.
Okay.
Mm. So I'm gonna just say this.
Wait a minute. I need to know. You hate to tell us, but what, Jazzy? What? What do you hate to tell us? And it is too much fuckery. And what's if? I know. I know.
I know we gonna try to like fly through these last ones.
Yes, go for it.
Your favorite person is beefing with Cardi. There's case law that discuss the amount of rat droppings or mice pee that can be permitted to be in food or on your soda cans. Okay, I'm going to keep talking because otherwise I am going to vomit. Candace Owens.
I mean, I wash my water cans. I don't drink soda, but I wash my water cans.
Facts, yeah. Candace Owens is upset. Her delicate sensibilities. First of all, she's still watching the Grammys, so your fault. But she's upset with Cardi for, among other things, her Grammys performance, and also she's still mad about WAP, whatever, and the new jam Up. So they've been going back and forth on Twitter, which I'm like, Cardi, protect your energy, sis. Don't do this with her. It doesn't matter. You're not changing anybody's minds. You're not going to make her look. Both of y'all look stupid right now, but let her look stupid by herself, because she still needs to be seeing somebody about them ends. And that's what really she should be focused on right now, and not
Okay. I need to send you this video that I need y'all to play. Okay. I'm going to send you this. I'm going to text it to you because I need you to see if you can play it, please.
Don't text it to me then. Email me.
Okay.
If you text it to me, I can't do the thing.
All right. Okay. I'm going to email it to you now. Keep talking.
But I mean, that's all I really want to say. Like, people commenting on things that,
Why? First of all, why are you looking to the Grammys to be some kind of pinnacle of, family entertainment? That's not what they purport to be. That's
not what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did you get it?
Hold.
Okay. But anyway, yeah. All these people who are just like, this is supposed to be family TV. Who said that?
Yeah. I mean, I stopped watching the Grammys after the Drunken Love performance, I think.
I just stopped watching.
I mean, I remember being like, okay, wow, we're doing a lot on regular TV. But I remember having that conversation. I think I wrote a blog post about it. But
you see what you did there, though.
Mm-hmm.
You stopped. You turned the television off. You used the buttons.
Well, and I especially stopped watching it with my children. Like, that's not the argument that I'm here to make.
Right.
My kids wanted to see the people doing the thing, and Beyonce gave us a grown woman show, and I was like, oh, okay, so all right. So Janet Jackson can't show her titty, but
right,
got it.
I mean, but if I'm not getting in the car with my 8-year-old and putting on, satellite radio,
correct,
then why are you expecting to be able to do the same thing when you turn on your TV? You have to be selective.
Right. Where did you send it?
Probably to the wrong email address, whatever came up.
You send it to me, or do you send it to Gmail?
I don't know.
Because I don't have nothing from you.
Okay, let's see. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna send it to Gmail, right? Which one do you want me to send it to?
It doesn't matter, but it should just be one of those. Send it to Gmail.
Okay. But yeah, that's what gets on my nerves, that these people are so they're depending upon TV to help you raise your children. Come on now, and Up is my jam too, Jazzy. I'm like, that is my shit. And when I tell you, I'm gonna have to get the girls to let me record them doing the dance. Because I love that choreo. I love the whole thing. And I'm here for I'm and always have been here for the let me let me see how sensitive you are.
Mhm.
Here it is. You know, if you're sensitive, get ready because your mind is about to be blown.
You want me to play it on here?
Yes, please, with sound and everything.
All right, let me see. Let me see.
This is what y'all out here doing.
Share.
And then we go.
Y'all have to tell me about the sound.
And then we'll sweep through the rest of these, y'all. We ain't gonna keep y'all forever. I want to see the video too.
Now let's see. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
With children. Sorry. For those of you out there who are wondering, what's safe? Where do I show my kids? How do I show? What do I show my kids? That's good, that's noble, that's pure, that's edifying, that's worthy. I want to say be careful, and I want to say that I'm being careful too.
Yes, swipe to the next screen.
With children.
Damn it. Go to the next screen.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't let me unless I
and this is
open it in actual Instagram.
and this is hit the right arrow on the slide. Somebody says
the right arrow. Oh.
I said certified free. 7 days a week. Wet ankles. Now that pull out game weak. I said certified free. 7 days a week. Wet ankles. Now that pull out game weak.
Okay.
yeah. So this is her weeping. This is her weeping over. Wow.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop the screen and share because it won't stop playing.
Okay.
Y'all like, okay, I got it.
And that was Cardi B posting it and said, really? Over what?
Right.
But this is what y'all out here doing. What's what's good and edifying and pure. Why are you going to the Grammys for what's good and edifying and pure?
It's the Grammys. Have you listened to the radio at all?
Then you know what's going to be on the show.
Oh Jesus! These people.
You put on Veggie Tales. That part. Veggie Tales. Don't do that.
Where's my hairbrush? Where's my hairbrush?
Yes. All right, well, let's go. Let's go.
Right. So just to say, the title of the show, we ain't forgot, because we ain't forgot about DC statehood. And these hoes out here talking about how it's what did they somebody said something about, DC is supposed to be, nonpartisan and this, that, and the third. Like, again, y'all are back to you don't want Black people to vote.
Yeah,
and
DC
also it's completely undemocratic to have taxation without representation. And I'm gonna just leave that right there.
Yeah, we act like DC is just some kind of entity in which real people don't live.
Right.
But anyway.
When all that was there was the seats of power and people didn't live there. That was different. But
right.
It hasn't been the case in quite a moment. So
exactly.
Also so I watched Amend. I told you to watch that.
Right.
And they talked about the Equal Rights Amendment, aka the ERA. 72 to 2021, do the math.
Right.
That's 49 years.
Still not about,
2020. So in order to get an amendment passed, you have to have 38 of 50 states ratify it. Virginia became the 38th state in January of 2020, and nothing happened.
Yeah,
it's just there.
Like my vacation deposit money. Yeah, it's just
a federal judge last month decreed that statute of limitations, bitch, y'all got to start over. That shit ran out a long time ago, is what he said. So stay tuned.
Yes,
After all this time, we still haven't codified equal rights.
Yes.
We ain't forgot. We ain't
forgot.
Thank you, Amanda, for reminding me, because
that part. Yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. 6-part series. Watch it.
Still trying to eliminate standardized tests, which, yes, but detractors are actually contending that doing that would make it harder to admit people based on merit. Are we admitting people based on merit right now?
Right.
Just asking.
And that logic is flawed anyway, but yeah.
Of course it's flawed. I mean, you knew that shit as soon as you said it. Standardized testing, whole other Oprah. We're not even going to.
Whole other Oprah.
Just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open for that argument, because.
Absolutely. Shit no one asked for. Look, y'all saw that Tyson versus Holyfield is a thing. It's happening in May. It was, Holyfield was like, no, it's not. It's not been confirmed. And then somebody went and whispered in Holyfield's ear, 28 million, or was it 23? Whatever it was. And Holyfield was like, okay. So, the question is, do you go in there wearing earmuffs? How do you go fight Tyson at this point in your life? First of all, why are you fighting Tyson at this point in your life? Nobody wants to see it. It's going to be some old man shit. I don't believe that Tyson is reformed enough to not bite his ear. I don't know that I would go in there with that kind of faith.
And also, who wants to see two old men beating up on each other? I don't
want to see that. And they're not limiting it to 3 rounds like they usually do at these kind of exhibitions. They're not limiting it. Right. Will your inhaler be there? Your oxygen tank? Will somebody gonna have some salon paws or some something on the sides? Because
not salon paws.
I mean, come on, dog. Yeah. Please tell me you're gonna show the picture. I begged her to get a picture of this other thing that shit no one asked for.
No one, absolutely no one has asked for this, and yet he insists on giving it to us.
Yes, and y'all gonna buy it too. Y'all are gonna buy this shit.
Y'all,
the Yeezy foam runners that were running for between $385 and $400, and that's on the initial sale. People are gonna be reselling them when they sell out for.
But doesn't this look like you put your Crocs in the microwave and it just kind of started melting, and you took it out and you were like, oh, cool.
Yeah, the one on the left looks like somebody was like at Dairy Queen trying to do something fancy on my dipped cone. No. Yeah. Nobody asked for that, Yeezy.
No.
Nobody.
Hold that.
All right.
Hold that.
Diva 29, is Diva 29 on?
Hold on. I don't think she is.
Oh, doggone it. Because this next one, I wanted to kind of hear what she thought about it. But we're in our C block, y'all. We're about to close it out. Thanks for hanging with us. We're going to roll through the Have You Seen It? Have you seen it? And if so, as always, we want to see a go see or not be. Thank you, Tiff Star.
My thingy is not working again.
Oh no!
I can't see y'all.
Oh no! Well, we can see you, so don't do that crazy.
I won't.
All right, so we're gonna do the go see a Nabi. So get ready. We're gonna go through a few of those. So first off top, the Snyder cut of the Justice League. Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? And if you did, go see or nah, Bing. I know, Mickey, that you saw it.
I did.
I saw it.
I enjoyed it immensely.
Yes. So I did too. It was a whole different movie.
Completely different movie.
It is long as hell, Jazzy. Absolutely it is. But you actually give a shit about the characters in this version because they actually did some character exposition, right?
Right.
Yeah, pack a meal and snacks and water and wine. I actually had wine and food while I watched it.
You got to take a bio break in the middle.
You do. You absolutely do. But yeah, completely different movie. It's just like, Joss, you had all of the assets there. What the fuck did you do to ruin what Snyder's vision was? How did you do that with all of the assets there? How did you so royally fuck this movie?
For real.
When you had the components. But yeah. So let me see. Did anybody else see it? Yeah. I know.
I recommend it. I mean, it is long, but it's worth it.
There we go. Worth it.
It's worth it. The character exposition was absolutely necessary. If you saw, bye Tiff, if you saw the theatrical release version and thought, okay, what did I just watch? Then you need to watch the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the thing that you need to do.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So worth it. Go see. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yes, I'm watching. And I know you're a fan of both of those characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a big fan of both of those characters, but I'm fucking with the show. I'm fucking with the show. It's gonna be good.
I think I like this instead of doing a movie, I like the story arc. WandaVision, I have faith in what they're doing with these episodic kind of.
Me too.
I like it better.
I mean, I think it's ideal if you have that kind of budget that you can spend on something episodic. It's ideal.
Yeah. And it's on Disney Plus, but they us.
Yes,
they were getting it in. I was like, oh, okay, so we're doing this.
Right.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I would say go see.
I just love Sebastian Stan. So. Yes.
Coming to America. We didn't talk about this last time. Let me know. Go see Nabi. Go back to Jazzy talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier. It gives us all the exposition and information we need in the episodic format. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially for Falcon, because he just kind of popped up in the Winter Soldier. And then it was like, okay, what's his deal? So you're getting some of his deal.
Absolutely. Which is the same thing with the Snyder Cut. We get the deal of all of those other folks, plus extra characters that we need to know for the coming movies. All right. So back to Coming to America. Go see Coming to America. Meta says.
Yeah. I mean, go see it.
For the culture. Yeah.
Yeah, for the culture.
If you're coming into it expecting it to have the same impact that the first one had, then you're stupid, first of all. You can't, I mean, when you have, it's a cult favorite and it's culturally iconic. You can't recreate that. So if you're expecting it to recreate that, I mean, you just can't. You can't do that.
And everything is different. Like, what helped sell the first Coming to America was the naivete. Was like, dude, these hoes know nothing about what's going on in the world. Yes. And this time it's kind of like, okay, some of this shit you should know, and it's not funny now, but Kevin loves when I do shit like this, but it wasn't the worst use of an hour and a half.
Right. Yes, totally unnecessary, but fun.
Totally unnecessary, but fun.
I think I liked the way they tried to, even down to, I'm not saying they had like a Spielberg over there thinking about this, but even down to the way they positioned his body, Eddie Murphy, to some of his movements, to some of the things he said, positioning him in the same place his father was, Jaffe Joffer was in the original movie.
Yes.
Basically becoming him and not realizing it.
Because I expected somebody to say, I thought you were the king.
Yes.
Like, I just knew that was coming at some point. So.
Yes. So, there were some very deliberate moves. Like even when he stops, this time he stopped the Uber or whatever rather than the taxi.
Right.
And
he's like, oh, you got to use that.
Right. So I like the way they did that, but I would definitely say go see.
Yeah.
Oscar noms, you can talk about Oscar noms.
Well, no, I just, if you saw them come out, was there, I thought that I was surprised, I'll say that, in the year where so many films were released on Amazon Prime and Netflix and all that Regina didn't get a nod for One Night in Miami. But happy to see they did right by Andra.
They did.
Nominated her. I thought it was interesting that am I mixing up with the Globes? I feel like Lakeith and Daniel Kaluuya are both up for supporting.
Yeah, for the same one. How's nobody a lead? That makes no sense.
So, the usual ticky-tack shit, but, we'll see.
Yeah.
I just thought I would throw it in there because it happened. It was a thing that happened.
Yeah. And so for the next time, guys, let's check out this new thing. Cynthia Erivo is playing Aretha Franklin in Genius Aretha. It's a Nat Geo. I don't know why it's on Nat Geo, but
but I think they consolidated a lot of channels under Nat Geo or Discovery Plus. Yeah,
maybe that's what it is. But I'm interested to see it, especially because there's controversy around us not using Black American actors to play Black Americans. There's a whole lot of controversy about us using British actors and people who, when we have, because of, acceptability. I don't even want to say proximity to whiteness because these folks are not really proximate to whiteness, but they're certainly proximate to Britishness.
they're proximate to not being American. And in this country, we will step over Black Americans every time. When we can, we will do that. And so, I say, don't be mad at Cynthia Erivo. Don't be mad at Daniel Kaluuya. Don't be mad at, Chiwetel, whatever his last name is. I can never remember. Don't be mad at them.
Right.
Be mad at the people who are funding these films, who are saying that one, not that one.
Right. Absolutely.
Not that one. You know what I'm saying? So
and we know she's going to do a great job.
Yeah.
We'll have another film later this year or next where Jennifer Hudson plays Aretha, and that's like a theatrical release.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested to see what Cynthia does. So that's your homework for next time. Watch Genius Aretha. And
it'll be on demand because it already came on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
Yeah, me too. I haven't watched it. So that's it, guys. Y'all rocked us for a long time today. We made it.
You did. We made it. All right. Let me put up the partner graphic and tell you about the partners. So while I'm doing that, I definitely want to send shout out to my Twitch mod.
Yes.
DJ Metaspin, who's been, keeping the party going over on the Twitch side, and all the Twitchies who have joined the show and found us and rocked with us. DJ React. Are you in Britain or are you here? Are you British, but you live here, or are you across the pond right now? That's awesome if you are.
But you're a two-timer now. You're a two-timer. So you're a Twitch two-timer.
That's right. So, but yeah, it was, I'm glad that you guys came and you keep coming. Let's get that up. This is what gets everybody, this is what gets the people excited, apparently.
It gets them going. It's provocative.
I know. And Miss Tiff Star left because this got her amped the first time. I'm sending an email. I'm going to.
DJ React is in the Bay Area.
Oh, see, I need to do better. I know Salty is rolling her eyes hard because I live in the Bay Area and know the least about what's happening in the Bay Area. Okay. So, thank you for coming and holding it down with us for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Be sure you follow us on all our platforms. And we're at Twofer Blog everywhere, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitch. Read our blog. We are at www.twoferblog.com. Drop comments on the blog. I saw someone actually registered on the website and left us a comment about our last post. So, don't be scared. Don't be scared. And so now let's talk a little bit about before I do that, but you can drop us a line, letting us know what you thought about our blog post on any of our platforms. Okay. Mm-hmm. So just a little bit about our partners, and you can see them on the screen here. 4 out of 5 Black and brown women are considered overweight or obese. Let's change that narrative. Curly and Spiritually Fit, a place where Black and brown women come together to take control over their health and souls. We have Melanin Mindscape. It's a blog dedicated to all things Black, really. Black TV, Black history, Black lit, Black. All melanin all the time. Creative Sippin' is a unique and exciting paint and sip studio in Chicago, offering a variety of different activities to partner with painting, such as karaoke and comedy. Lately, I think they had some exotic dancers. Ooh. A night at Creative Sippin' is a full night out, so you won't have several things to do. The studio is always BYOB, so your favorite drinks and snacks are always near. If you can't make it to one of the classes in studio, then order the paint party in a box and enjoy all the fun in the comfort of your own home. And Kay and I have both done that. The Disrupting Balance blog and podcast platform uplifts women embracing the transitions and decisions in their personal and professional lives. Actionable strategies plus purposeful content equals winning a life disrupted in your favor. The Spiked Sweet Tea is a podcast hosted by April Nicole and Dina Haynes, two Black women from Atlanta, not Georgia. Yes, it's different. Southern hospitality, but spiked. We discuss a range of topics, including pop culture, current events, health, society, and even politics. So check them out. Gluten-Free Black Girl inspires flavor and creativity in your gluten-free meals. Starting the journey to transition to a gluten-free lifestyle is challenging, but without representation, the frustrations grow. At Gluten-Free Black Girl, you'll find balance, comfort, and reassurance, making you feel empowered through your food. And their Instagram is phenomenal. The pictures are just yummy. And then finally, last but not least, Clay Botanics, our handcrafted skincare blended with our Ayurvedic. I never said it right.
I did the same thing last time, me either.
And botanical ingredients to keep your skin and spirit feeling youthful and radiant. So
did you do your mask last time?
I did. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it today. And I'll take pictures and put them up. Yeah. But if you want to partner with us, if you want to see your logo on this slide, message us at holla@twoferblog.com with partnership in the subject line, and we will do the rest. It's very easy. And that is it, folks.
We appreciate y'all
We
so
do.
much.
We do.
This is fun. We need this, y'all, because I'm going to tell you, when we got on this morning, we were both dragging.
Yes.
And so y'all give us life. And you give me life, Mickey.
You give me life too. I was like, if we both come to the party, what is we gonna do?
Right. Exactly. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid.
Yeah, stay for the raid, Twitchies.
All right. If you're staying, hang on. If not, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.